This is the National Football League on NBC. Today from RFK Stadium, it's the Buffalo Bills versus the Washington Redskins. Today's game is brought to you by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, by Bud Light, the less filling light beer with the first name in taste, and by Team Xerox, the right products and the right people all working together.
Pleasant good afternoon, everybody. RFK Stadium, and the temperature, believe it or not, near 60 degrees. Jay Randolph to call the play, and alongside we're happy to have Reggie Rucker to analyze the action. It was just last Sunday the Buffalo Bills played the role of spoiler. They defeated Dallas in Buffalo, and the big man in the game was Greg Bell. First play from scrimmage, he goes 85 yards, longest run this year in the National Football League, longest run ever against the Dallas Cowboys. And Greg Bell, a talented rookie from Notre Dame.
And not only is he a great and an explosive football player, but he's quite a dreamer.
Before the game today, it was just so funny because me and Booker just looked at each other and said, man, I had a dream last night. The opening play, you just took it the length of the field. And I looked at Booker and said, man, I had that same dream.
Wonder if he was doing any dreaming here last night.
I hope it wasn't a nightmare. Playing the Washington Redskins here at RFK can be tough.
Reggie, you talk about playing the Redskins, and you think, of course, of their offense. It's been lagging a bit of late, but certainly they have a great duo when Theismann and Art Monk get together. Monk is the leading receiver in the National Football League.
71 catches. He resembles Charlie Taylor in so many ways. The problem, the Redskins have not had balance, but they will have Charlie Brown back today.
And, of course, the Redskins have John Riggins. Riggins is over the 1,000 mark again. But John Riggins has had a little trouble holding on to the football.
Riggins has fumbled the ball. The opposition has recovered a lot. He is a quintessential fullback running behind those big offensive linemen called the Hogs.
You've been down on the field today. What's the condition down there?
Muddy in the middle, and I think that's for a purpose for Riggins and the Hogs.
John Riggins, at 35 years of age and 3 months, became the oldest player in the NFL history to reach the 100,000 mark in a season. There is Kay Stevenson, the head man of the Buffalo Bills. He'll be 40 on December the 17th. His Buffalo Bills have won the toss. They've only won the coin toss 3 times this season. One of them was last week up in Buffalo when they finally got their first victory. Hayes will kick off, and Don Wilson and Van Williams are set to receive.
It's a big day for Don Wilson, the Buffalo Bills return man, number 21. He is a Washington, D.C. native, went to Cardozo High School right here in the district, and he told me last night that he was so excited that he hadn't been able to eat.
Hayes comes to the ball, and we're underway. Taking it on the bounce, Williams cuts it up and gets to the 19-yard line. The stop was made by Rich Maudie, number 84. Maudie, of course, a gentleman who played at Penn State, wide receiver and tailback. There, Joe Ferguson will start at quarterback. The rookie, Greg Bell. Booker Moore. The receivers, Preston Denard and Byron Franklin. Talented tight end in his second year from Notre Dame, Tony Hunter. In the middle, it is Grant, Richer and Borchardt, and Devlin and Jones. First down from the 19-yard line. Vogler is starting in that line as we look out there, and the first pass from Ferguson almost intercepted by Mel Kaufman, the linebacker, 55. He was intending it for Greg Bell. Defensively, Man Brooks, Grant, and Manley up front for the Redskins. Kaufman, Oglowitz, and Malott. And in the secondary, Green, Dean, Coffey, and Jordan. Second down and 10.
Here is something to consider, Jay. When the opposition has scored first on the Washington Redskins, the Redskins have lost 8 out of 10 football games.
The handoff going to Booker Moore. Moore, the third-year man, averaging 3.4 per carry on just 62 yards. Originally a number 1 draft choice, hit by Tom Beasley, number 67, and Charles Mann, number 71. The Bills 1-11, the Redskins 7-5, going for their 6th straight victory at home.
And here's where you have a weakness against the strength. The strength of the Washington Redskins here is their pass rush. The weakness of the Buffalo Bills, they do not protect Ferguson very well.
Tony McGee is in there, number 78, the designated pass rusher, on 3rd down and 7. Here they come, and down goes Ferguson at the 11-yard line. Monty Coleman, number 51, coming across.
That's exactly what the Washington Redskins want to do. They want to put the offensive team in a sure passing situation and utilize that very effective pass rush, which is the 3rd best in the National Football League. And there it is. A very immobile Joe Ferguson cannot get away from that outstanding pressure.
The rookie, John Kidd, will do the punting for Buffalo, averaging 43.2. That's Mike Nelms. He's been bothered by an ankle sprain, back to receive. The kick is a high hanger. Nelms at the 41. 45, 50, 45, 40. And the Redskins are going to set up shop at the 39-yard line of Buffalo. Lawrence Johnson, number 48 for the Bills, making the stop on exciting Mike Nelms.
Absolutely. Without question, Mike Nelms, one of the superior return people in professional football today. He has good vision.
The Redskins with Theismann. John Riggins, number 44, set behind him. First down at the 39-yard line. In motion, Art Monk. Pass to Monk. And Monk has a first down as he battled his way down the sideline. Steve Freeman, number 22, made the tackle.
When you catch 71 passes, as you take a look at the Redskins' offensive setup there, the veteran Joe Theismann leading that outstanding group. The Redskins' offensive line, Jacoby and Grimm, tremendous left side. Donnelly filling in for Bostic, Huff and May. I'll get back to that point in a minute, Jack.
All right, it is first down. Hand off to Riggins. Riggins inside the 25-yard line, getting to about the 23. Ken Johnson, 91, and Eugene Marr, 54, wrapped him up. It is Williams and Smerlis and Johnson up front for the Bills. And Haslam and Marv coming off excellent games, and Talley also last week. Carpenter with Romes and Freeman and Cush starting today at the free safety spot.
All right, Wilson, Donald Wilson, a young man from Washington, D.C., now has entered the lineup. Interestingly enough, Brian Carpenter, that's Fred Smerlis, the all-pro nose tackle, getting up slowly. Interestingly enough, Brian Carpenter, who plays the cornerback position for the Buffalo Bills, started the year with the Washington Redskins, and we'll be back after this.
Give me a light. A Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
And I'll have a light. A Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
They say it takes a big computer company to build a big computer. Sure.
Who else?
But Goodyear said, "Want to bet?" and built a supercomputer for NASA.
Goodyear did?
Yeah.
The aerospace group.
Goodyear's computer can add or subtract 6.5 billion times a second. It's one of the world's fastest computers. See what you can do when you don't listen to what they say. Goodyear.
44 years old, Joe Gibbs. 44 years old today.
Number 44, John Riggins.
Here's Theismann on second down, throws to Riggins. Penalty marker is down. Riggins gets to the 22-yard line before Jim Haslett made the tackle, number 55, and we do have a marker down. The referee today is Ben Dreith, and you see Theismann indicate that it is a penalty against Buffalo. Cincinnati has a 7-0 lead over Atlanta in the early going. They're the officials today. Ben Dreith, the veteran referee. Ed Piffick is the umpire. Mr. Williams, Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Wedge, Mr. Finken, and Mr. Spittler. About 4 of those fellows, very fine college basketball officials, too.
What you're seeing from Joe Theismann has been pressing. He admitted it
Personal
himself.
foul, number 77, the defense, head slap.
Head slap against Ben Williams, number 77. Big Ben out of Mississippi. Leading tackler the last 4 years.
Theismann has been pressing, and he's lacking a little confidence. So I think he's done something that's very smart. Come out, hit the short pass, Jay. Get some completions going early, build up that confidence, and when you get the Buffalo Bills coming up looking for that short pass, then hit them with the quick strike deep.
It's a good idea to get underway that way after a loss last week up at Philadelphia. And, of course, Joe Gibbs has been pretty rough on his squad this week. I understand he showed more anger in the meeting with them here on Monday than he has ever indicated to his club. He was disappointed, upset.
Well, it's good for Joe Gibbs to take charge like that, because what will happen if you don't? Sometimes you get players, even of the caliber of the Washington Redskins, who have been to the Super Bowl a couple of times, you get players pointing fingers at each other, talking about who isn't doing this and who isn't doing that. And I think Joe Gibbs just wanted to set the record straight and say, hey, I'm in charge here. Let's play football the way the Washington Redskins can play.
Pittsburgh gets on the board against San Diego. The Redskins have won 7 of their last 8 games against the AFC. First down. A little delay, a draw in the middle to Riggins, who gets to the 10-yard line. And Williams, number 77, is there to make the play. And you see number 55, Jim Haslett, hot about something. I mentioned Haslett and Marv were very, very tough in the middle last week for the Buffalo Bills.
And, Jay, that secondary of the Buffalo Bills is going to be hurting without Steve Freeman. He is the leader back there. He has a hamstring pull, and I don't think he'll return to the lineup.
Oh, they've got Cush and Wilson playing the safety slots now, with Carpenter and Romes at the corners. Going wide to the right is Art Monk. It is 2nd down and 9. That's Walker going in motion. And touchdown! Art Monk, his 5th of this season. Art Monk connects with Joe Theismann. We talked about this duo at the top of the show.
That's right. Art Monk is the fellow that makes it happen for the Washington Redskins. Let's take a look at it right here. Theismann on a 3-step drop. That means he wants to get rid of the ball very quickly. Now Monk makes a fantastic move inside Brian Carpenter and makes just an uncontested catch for a touchdown.
The timing and the chemistry was really there. The point after by Mark Mosley. And the Redskins have an early lead. We have 11 minutes and 32 seconds left to play in the first quarter here at RFK. The Skins have the lead.
No matter what pace you've set for yourself, there's a Xerox Marathon copier built just for you. Desktop copiers with advanced microelectronics. Mid-size copiers that give you a 2-sided copy of a 2-sided original and even staple. Larger copiers that constantly monitor themselves for peak performance. To see which 10 Series Marathon copier best fits your pace, call Team Xerox today.
Sunday on Silver Spoons, Ricky's mom's engaged to the Raiders' John Matuzak. Then Punky Brewster enters a beauty contest. Special guest star Andy Gibb cheers her on Sunday.
Jeff Hayes, a native of Elkin, North Carolina, kicks off with Wilson and Williams back. That's Van Williams. Steps outside at the 22 and gets to about the 23-yard line. Trey Junkin, number 56, over on the specialty unit to make the play. The Redskins scoring after getting the fine punt return from Nelms. They went 5 plays in 39 yards. Took them only a minute and 57 seconds to do the business.
That's an aspect of the Washington Redskins that has always been a very superb outfit, the special teams. Way back when George Allen was here, they've always been very good at special teams.
Dave Butts battling the flu, not here today, in the hospital. Tom Beasley, along with Mann, Grant, and Manley up front for the Redskins. Handoff to Greg Bell. Not much there for Greg Bell, as he is wrapped up in the middle. Number 72, Manley, along with Oklewitz, number 52.
Greg Bell, the rookie #1 draft choice from Notre Dame. He's 5'10", 210 pounds, and from Columbus, Ohio. Bell wanted to go to Ohio State, but when Woody Hayes was dismissed, he decided to go to Notre Dame, and besides having a very powerful build, he has the sprinter speed, or what we call the quick strike quality.
He was a great long jumper in high school in Columbus, Ohio. Incomplete at the 25, and it might have been intercepted. Malott was coming at the man, Booker Moore. Had he turned it inside, he might have been able to pick it off and go with it. St. Louis has an early lead over Philadelphia. Big game there today. Tampa Bay 3-0 over the Rams in the first quarter. And Cleveland 7-0 over Houston.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Your old teammates having some fun.
Well, they haven't had much fun all year long, Jeff.
Isn't that the truth? 3rd down and 10 out of the shotgun. Ferguson throws over the middle, almost intercepted. Ken Coffey, number 48, almost picked it off with Vernon Dean. The pass was intended for Mike Mosley, number 88. And up to now, the Buffalo Bills have looked very shaky on offense.
Well, Joe Ferguson has had arm troubles, Jay. He has not been able to throw the football downfield. And had he completed that pass, it was not enough yardage for the first down anyway.
John Kidd, the rookie from Northwestern, been very impressive, averaging 43.2. This is a wobbly kick. Nelms at the 40. Nelms at the 45 to the 47-yard line. And that's where the Redskins will put it in play. Stan David, number 59, and Jim Haslett, 55, on the tackle. We'll be back with more from RFK in a moment.
Guten Morgen.
Morgen.
Wir nehmen den neuen Jetta.
Ah, Paris.
Introducing the new Volkswagen Jetta, the first affordable German road car.
Allez-y.
Exhilarating performance, precise, responsive handling. With the new Jetta, half the fun is getting there.
Paris.
Hey, der Eiffelturm.
The other half is getting back. Jetta. It's not a car, it's a Volkswagen.
Ah, the joys of watching football on the Sony. What a picture, what a game. What about the rest of your family? Remember them? They have to use the other set, the one without the exclusive Trinitron picture, the one without the patented one-gun, one-lens system, the one that isn't a Sony. But do you care about your second set? Nah, you don't really need another Sony, do you? Or do you?
In the game for the Redskins, the tight end, Clint Didier, number 86. He has caught 4 touchdown passes on 19 catches. They like to throw to him, but they're going to go to Monk. And Monk is out of bounds inside the 50-yard line at the 49-yard line of Buffalo. That time, Reggie, they sent Monk and Didier into the same area over there. And the tackle was made by number 54 there, Eugene Marv, along with Rod Cush.
There's your leading receivers right there, and what they try to do with that particular quick screen to Monk is that they want Didier to come in motion and to provide the lead blocking for Monk on the screen pass, and that's an excellent pattern to utilize when you have a player the size of Monk.
Didier's to the right. Monk is in the slot. Mohammed set left. And they come out to Keith Griffin. Griffin out of bounds, very close to the first down. Looks like he might have it. Chris Keating, 52, the linebacker, ran Griffin out of bounds. Only the 7th catch of the season for this rookie out of Miami.
I wonder how he felt about that football game just over the weekend.
Well, it seems that Boston College has the right stuff in Mr. Flutie, huh?
He's calling the magic man.
A first down inside the 42-yard line. Same setup with the wide receivers and Monk in the slot left. And Theismann going to Didier. And he is knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Didier played at Portland State and caught a lot of passes from the man who now quarterbacks the Cardinals, Neil Lomax.
It is obvious that the Redskins are using the short passing game. Now, you cannot stop this type of attack unless you bump and run, unless you play hands on the receiver at the line of scrimmage. And until the Buffalo Bills do that, I think Joe Theismann is going to continue on with this style of play.
Keith Griffin, 35, is the single setback. Riggins out of there right now. On second down and 3, Griffin. And a first down and more to the 25-yard line. Griffin banging through. Nice blocking by Jacoby, 66. Grimm, 68. Tackled by Wilson, the safety man, number 21.
Now watch Griffin. Watch the vision and watch the quick feet. See, right in here. Now he gets inside of both Grimm and Jacoby, and he makes that additional yardage because he utilizes the quickness.
Art Monk goes wide to the right with Muhammad. They give it to Griffin. Got about 1. Trying to go over the right side. Coming up for the Bills, Ken Johnson, the big guy from Knoxville, number 91, to make the play. There's Johnson. They call him Baby. He is far from that.
I talked with Marty Kiffin about the Buffalo Bills linebackers, and he said as a group they're playing very, very well, particularly my inside people, Eugene, Marv, and Jim Haslett. But the fellow who has really impact talent, and that's the ability to really change the game around, a la Lawrence Taylor, let's say, is Darryl Talley on the outside, the talented one from West Virginia.
Second down and 9. That's Monk coming in motion. Theismann straight back. And he, almost a marvelous try by Didier there as the pass was a little off target. Rod Cush had the coverage, but Theismann's got to be a little upset.
Well, you can't throw a football any better than Joe threw that one. Watch the velocity with which Theismann throws this football. Now, it's thrown to the outside just a little bit, but he gets that ball there in a hurry.
You hear the applause. Charlie Brown, number 87, comes into the game, back off injured reserve. Charlie, number 87, out of South Carolina State. Third down and 9 for the Skins. Jeff Moore also in the lineup. That's Brown going in motion. Theismann has time. He throws. And at the 21-yard line, Brown made the catch. The tackle was made by Rodney Bellinger, a very happy rookie out of Miami. And it's time for Mark Mosley.
When you've been out as long as Charlie Brown has been out, what you want to do is get in the game and get something quick. Get used to the action. Get acclimated. Now, Charlie Brown is on a quick out pattern here. Theismann gets in the ball. What they're looking for is hopefully that Brown might make a move, make someone miss, and make a big play.
Ball spotted at the 28, 38-yarder by Mosley, and it is good. Mosley makes it a 10-0 game. Mosley now 16 out of 21.
America's favorite pastime is on NBC as the nation's top rollers continue their quest for Bowler of the Year. Join the game's greatest for the exciting conclusion of the PBA Fall Tour on NBC. America loves its sports, NBC style.
One reason why Duracell batteries last so long is because we're always improving them. In fact, today's Duracell batteries will last up to 20% longer than the ones we made just 3 years ago. To do it any other way would be, well, the tail wagging the dog. Duracell, the copper top battery. When it comes to making them last longer, we never stop.
Picture a computer so good it can easily run over 1,000 of the best programs written for the IBM PC. So good it can also run powerful new cartridge programs like Lotus 123, or a program that lets you paint pictures in living, sparkling color. So far, so good? Now picture this. Without monitor, it costs less than $1,000, and it comes from IBM. PC Junior, the computer that's growing by leaps and bounds.
Jeff Hayes kicks it off. And at the 13-yard line, Van Williams falls down as he tried to make a cut at the 19-yard line. And Greg Williams, number 47, popped him down.
You know, it's interesting, Jay, that the Buffalo Bills players are wearing the traditional cleated shoe, and the Washington Redskins players are wearing the multi-cleated rubber-soled shoe, which is more conducive to stability on this kind of field. This is a PAT, prescription turf field, and it's slick in places.
Yeah, you mentioned at the top of the show, Reggie, that it was a little muddy in spots.
Yes.
Ferguson will try to get something going for the Bills. 10-0 Redskins. Ferguson goes to the far sideline and intercepted. Coming back with it, Curtis Jordan. Jordan still on his feet at the 40 and down to the 38-yard line. The 8th career interception for the free agent claimed from Tampa Bay, who played his college football at Texas Tech. Ferguson trying to go long and didn't get it there.
Jay, we talked about the injury problems with Joe Ferguson's arm. This ball is clearly not thrown far enough. Byron Franklin, great speed from Auburn, has clearly beaten Vernon Dean. Joe Ferguson just can't get him the football.
And shaken up for the Redskins on this play was the linebacker, number 55, Mel Kaufman. They're attending to Kaufman on the field here at RFK Stadium, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Last year, Mercedes-Benz introduced the new 190 class to America. Each one has rewarded its driver with a new kind of performance. Each one an almost uncanny balance of power and handling and riding comfort. Each one a remarkable automobile, even by the standards of Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz 190 class for 1985, engineered like no other car in the world.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Ah, Christmas. All my son's talked about is Radio Shack's 160-in-1 electronic project kit. He can build radios, learn about transmitters, computer circuits, solar energy, even electronic sound effects. Everything's pre-mounted. And Radio Shack has a wide selection of project kits. 160 projects in one little box. How do they do that?
The 160-in-1 project kit, $29.95, only at Radio Shack.
Well, they're here from Portsmouth, Virginia. This is Jay Randolph along with Reggie Rucker. Reggie, you went to Anacostia High School, and I went to Western. It's kind of nice to be back in our old hometown.
And you know what, Jay? As I was talking to you earlier, I never saw a Redskin game growing up as a youngster in D.C., and you saw every one. But your father is a U.S. Senator, and I came from Anacostia, D.C., and I didn't have the money to get in the front door.
Well, look, here we are together. Let's not worry about that. But Kaufman is the injured player, as we indicated a moment ago, the free agent. And he is a linebacker out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Mel Kaufman, the free agent, and they're attending to him. Bubba Tyre is the trainer here in Washington. Dr. Stan Levine there, also attending to him.
You know, Jay, because of the conditioning and the great athletic ability of these athletes on the football field, you sometimes forget about the violent nature of this game. And this is a very, very physical sport. And these players that play it are so well conditioned and so well skilled that sometimes they avoid this type of thing simply because they're such great athletes.
Big statistic in the early going. Ferguson 0 for 4, 1 interception and a sack. Theismann 7 out of 8, 47 yards and a touchdown. Houston and Cleveland are now tied up 7-7, and that's the headdress of the day here at RFK. And we're going to go to New York now and have an opportunity to get an update from NFL 84.
All right, Jay, you mentioned the score, and we're going to show you what just happened in Cleveland. The Oilers on an all-out blitz. Keith Bostic steals the ball from Paul McDonald. He goes 25 yards for a touchdown. They called it a fumble. They're all tied up at 7 now in Cleveland.
Bill McAtee, thank you very much. And we'll be looking forward to hearing from you throughout the afternoon, and Mr. Costas and Mr. Axthelm and all of the gang. Ahmad Rashad, of course, coming up with halftime scores and highlights and some features, I'm sure. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Washington Redskins and the National Football League is prohibited. Kaufman finally getting to his feet here.
You know the story with Mel Kaufman. Kansas City and New York, no score in the first quarter. Bobby Beathard, the Skins general manager, went out to Cal Poly to scout a very heralded running back, and he needed someone to cover the runner, and Mel Kaufman was on the sidelines, and he brought Mel out to cover this back during the workout there, and wound up being more impressed with Kaufman than he was with the back, and consequently signed Kaufman to a contract.
Two talented young coaches, Joe Gibbs, Kay Stevenson. Gibbs, of course, played at San Diego State, later coached under Don Coryell. He was an assistant in St. Louis. He was born in North Carolina, but graduated from high school out in California. Theismann over the middle, and it is complete to Art Monk. Monk gets near the 30-yard line before Chris Keating, the linebacker on the outside, number 52, made the tackle. So as you indicated, Reggie, they're going with a lot of short stuff early.
Well, the Buffalo Bills are deploying a lot of zone coverage, and the cornerbacks are flying out. The safeties are getting deep, and so there's no need to throw the ball downfield if they're going to give you that ball underneath. And Theismann, being the smart operator that he is taking what the Bills give him.
Griffin is still in there behind Joe Theismann. In motion, Didier. And the give goes to Griffin. Griffin got down to about the 28-yard line. Ben Williams, 77, wrapped him up. The Redskins, 15th on offense in the National Football League.
There's an outstanding football player right there, number 55, Jim Haslett, a member of the Bills' silver anniversary team. That means he was selected as one of the best players over the course of the 25-year history of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, he's been a fine one from Little Indiana of Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Going to have a measurement. Our referee, Ben Dreith. And, yep, he's going to give it to him. Dreith from Denver, Colorado.
I remember Ben Dreith as always as a player. I always seem to get Ben when we played the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I can tell you right now, he's a big fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Uh-oh, now. Here's a shutout. We've got a shutout on the board, 10-0, and a shutout in the first down department. 6 minutes to go, first quarter here at RFK. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are this afternoon. Griffin again is the single setback. Theismann to Griffin. He's at the 25, down to the 23-yard line. And again, it's Williams, 77, with help from Darrell Talley, the linebacker, number 56, making the stop. The Buffalo Bills ranked 27th or 21st on defense, 27th on offense. They are 18th against the rush, 20th against the pass, and Cincinnati 14-0 over Atlanta. Atlanta without Bartkowski, of course, and I don't know whether Anderson was going to be able to play or not today for Cincinnati, but they've had their problems, both of those clubs. 2nd down and 5 at the 23. Theismann again calling on the young rookie, and he is inside the 10 down to the 6-yard line. Good block by Jacoby, the left tackle, 66, and Griffin looking very good in the early going. Eugene Marv made the tackle.
This is exactly the way Joe Gibbs wants to play football. Play the good defense. Ball control, no turnovers. Look at the good blocking up in there, and Griffin looks like Crazy Legs Hurts right there with knees flying and feet flailing. Good runner from Miami, Keith Griffin.
Crazy Legs Hirsch. I didn't know you were old enough to remember Crazy Legs Hirsch. Now the athletic director at the University of Wisconsin.
That's right.
1st and goal to go. Griffin again at the 5, down to the 3. They closed on him quickly. Leading the way was Haslett. Also there was Keating. Oh, the Redskins have had it all their way here in the first quarter.
For you little fellas out there watching this football game, you can play this football game. Keith Griffin, 5'8", 185. But what he has is great vision. Look, he sees the hole. He's darting inside, makes a good cut. He sets up his moves ahead of time. Good anticipation. 6 rushes, 37 yards. You're doing all right, Keith.
The goal line offense there. Riggins is in there now, 44 with Otis Wansley, 39. Wansley goes in motion. Riggins gets the call. Touchdown! John Riggins has scored 46 touchdowns in his last 34 games. He started today.
Well, here he is behind Jacoby and Grimm. Now, when you need 1 or 2 yards and you've got John Riggins in the backfield, put him behind those 2 big hogs on the left side. Guaranteed touchdowns.
17-0. Riggins started the day with 10,482 yards.
I just had to come in here and see for myself. I don't believe he did this. And I thought the big surprise was going to be birthday cake for dessert, not diamonds. Especially not diamonds like these. Oh, they're beautiful. Do I look any different? I feel like everyone was looking at me. And silly me. I didn't think anything could make me feel as good as being married to him.
Give her diamonds of quality and see how good she feels.
The essence of hitting. George Brett.
Some guys say it's the rhythm, reading the pitch. For me, it's a feeling that says, I'm going downtown.
The essence of shaving.
This is Atra by Gillette. It pivots so the twin blades stay on your beard longer. But what Atra is all about is the feeling that says you just got Gillette's best shave.
Gillette, the essence of shaving.
Hayes kicking off again. And Van Williams out over the 10, at the 15, 20, 25, 30, out to the 33-yard line. A fine return by Van Williams, who played at Little Carson Newman, the second-year man. Otis Wansley, 39, on the tackle. Riggins with that touchdown, coming at 3:29 of the first period. And he looked very, very strong. Monty Coleman now is in at left linebacker for the Redskins. Rushing touchdown leaders. And Riggins moving into the number 2 spot there behind Jimmy Brown. Bell and Booker Moore behind Theismann. Penalty markers down as Greg Bell crosses the 35, gets out to the 38. Indication there's a penalty against Buffalo. We're going to go to New York, NFL 84.
All right, Jay, at Three Rivers, the Steelers are in the end zone against the Chargers. Mark Malone to Lewis Lips, a 15-yard touchdown pass, 7th TD pass reception of the year for the rookie, and it's 10-0 Steelers.
10-0 Steelers, and here's 17-0 Washington. We've just had a motion call against Buffalo.
Jay, here's the catch-22 effect. for the Buffalo Bills. The Redskins, once they get ahead of you, have won 20 straight football games. Now they have an outstanding pass rush. They force you to throw the ball, and Joe Ferguson is having trouble throwing the football.
First down, 15 for the Bills. Ulysses Norris in the game. He's in motion. Handoff to Greg Bell. And he's wrapped up by Dexter Manley, number 72. Tampa Bay leading the Rams 9-0 in the first quarter. The Buccaneers playing a little better since John McKay said this would be his last year.
That doesn't make John feel too happy.
Well, I don't know. He'd like to finish it up on a nice note, though. What a great career he's had. Rob Riddick, number 40 now, is in the game replacing Bell. So it's Moore 34 and Riddick 40 in the backfield. Second down. Second and about 14, and Ferguson on the run. He throws. It is complete to Riddick, and Riddick has a first down at midfield. Ken Coffey, the strong safety, number 48, made the tackle. That's the 14th catch of the year for Riddick, who played at little Millersville State. He's done a good job on specialty teams.
Now, ever since they lost Joe Cribbs, they haven't had the multi-dimensional back. Now, Rob Riddick is the type of back that catches passes out of the backfield very well. As you can see right there, he has good hands, and he's very explosive if he'd gotten the chance to get into the clear.
Riddick coming out. Bell is back in. The Buffalo Bills have their first down of the afternoon. The ball placed at the 49-yard line of the Redskins. They lead 17-0. A minute and 40 to play, first quarter. Banging his way up the middle goes Booker Moore. Penalty marker is down. Neil Oglewitz, the middle linebacker out of Maryland, and Charlie Mann, the Reno, Nevada product, making the tackle. Cincinnati is putting it on the Atlanta Falcons. Kansas City and the Giants still scoreless in the first quarter.
Defense number 72 lined up the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty.
Call to go against Dexter Manley. Oklahoma. Philadelphia is on the board against the Cardinals. That game at Busch Stadium, St. Louis this afternoon. The Cardinals have lost 3 in a row. They've self-destructed in recent weeks. Buffalo has it at the 44-yard line. A minute and 33 to go in this first quarter. The Redskins have had 3 or more sacks in 10 consecutive games. They have 1 this afternoon. Getting the call is Bell, and he is just short of the first down inside the 40-yard line. And again, Oglewitz makes the stop. He was the number 1 tackler in 1983 for the Redskins, number 52.
Greg Bell came into today's game, the number 3 rusher in the American Football Conference. And he gets the ball in the deep eye, and he wants to utilize that good vision that he has. And he also has that outstanding speed, but the Redskins aren't allowing Bell to break the line of scrimmage.
Monty Coleman is at the left linebacker spot, number 51. Kaufman has a jammed neck, and his return is slated as uncertain at the moment. Speedy Neal. Penalty marker thrown as Neal got very close to the first down. Neal averaging 3.4 per carry, the rookie from Miami. And a holding call is indicated. Ben Dreit discussing the situation and give us the
offensive holding number 53, grabbing the shirt from behind.
Will Grant, the center.
Speedy Neal, 6'2", 254, coming inside on the short yardage play. Look at the holding there, right in the center of your screen, number 53, Will Grant, holding Darryl Grant. And that's as flagrant as you can get.
Grant on Grant. That's holding, no question about it. You're right there. Second down and 11. Larry Kubin is now the middle linebacker, number 50 for Washington, replacing Oglewitz. Ferguson, incomplete. Trying to get it to Tony Hunter, his tight end. Good coverage by Ken Coffey, the strong safety.
Ken Coffey doing an outstanding job filling in for Tony Peters. Coffey very strong in coverage. You saw him right there make an outstanding play, leaping in front to bat that ball away.
Kay Stevenson sending in a play with number 81, Mitchell Brookins. 3rd down and 11 for Buffalo.
Look for Mitchell Brookins in an isolated situation, Jay, because Brookins is probably the fastest man on the Buffalo side of the field. Of course, he's not quite as fast as Darrell Green, but we may see that interesting confrontation here.
The Redskins in their prevent, and also they have McGee in there, their pass rusher. Out of the shotgun, Ferguson throwing and incomplete. The pass intended for number 83, Preston Denard. Coverage by Darrell Green. Was that a catchable ball?
It certainly was. And Preston Denard is known for making a tough catch. Not great speed, but runs excellent patterns and is considered the best hands receiver they have on this ball club. Good throw here by Joe Ferguson. Take a look at it. Right there on the fingertips. You have to make that kind of catch in the National Football League.
Ferguson has completed 1 of 7. Couple of them not his fault. 22 yards, the interception and the sack. John Kidd on to do the punting. A wobbly kick coming down. Nelms at the 10. Nelms at the 15, out to the 18-yard line. Tackle made by Joe Azelby, the linebacker. His number is 50. Well, we want to remind you to join us later this afternoon for the Skins game from Desert Highlands out in Arizona. Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, and Tom Watson. What a day Watson had yesterday. And it's certainly one of the most remarkable foursomes. Speaking of foursomes, get a look at those guys and girls. But join us later this afternoon. A November to remember on NBC. The Skins game coming up later today. In motion goes Art Monk to the far side. Theismann, lots of time. Going long for Muhammad and intercepted. Picked off by...
Unbelievable kick.
No, he got it. Muhammad has made the catch. He took it right away from Charlie Rome.
It was as if it was magic, Jay. Muhammad, the great speedster that was acquired from the Los Angeles Raiders in a trade earlier this year because of the injury to Charlie Brown, simply runs the fly pattern down the left side. Now, when I say fly pattern, he simply tries to outrun the defense. Here's Theismann launching one for Muhammad. Now, Charles Romes, number 26, has great inside position. Watch, Romes makes the interception. Now, on the way down, Muhammad steals the ball.
Well, that ends the first quarter here at RFK Stadium. Muhammad makes some magic for the Redskins, who lead it. We'll be back with more in a moment.
We'll give you another look at that sensational play by Calvin Muhammad. Now, I've had a couple of these plays throughout the course of my career, Jay, and what happens is that defensive backs aren't very good at holding on to footballs. They don't have good hands. So right here, you'll see Romes now. He should make this catch right here. Now he should protect the football, but he doesn't have the presence of mind to put it away, and Muhammad makes a great steal on the way down.
Well, I guess you win a few that way and lose a few that way over the years, didn't you?
You better win more than you lose, though.
That's right. Theismann is now 9 out of 10, 107 yards and a touchdown. Charlie Brown in the lineup, number 87, going in motion. That's Monk. Play action, throw to the near sideline. Charlie Brown down to the 18-yard line. Rod Cush, 42. Brian Carpenter, 30 on the tackle.
Brian Carpenter, number 30, is giving us an example of how not to play cornerback in the National Football League. Now, we said to you before, he was a member of the Washington Redskins to start the season. Obviously, the Redskins know something about Carpenter, and this is what they didn't like when they had him, because Carpenter's giving the receiver too much room, Jay.
Carpenter, number 30, at left corner, was originally a Dallas Cowboy draft. There are the early numbers on Theismann. The returns are coming in, and you have to like them if you're a Washington fan. Theismann, the ball batted and incomplete. Looked like he was trying to go to Art Monk.
He wanted Monk on what's called a drag play. Monk's inside receiver just runs it down and bends it out. The outside receiver takes the pattern inside, and Theismann has an option, but he had pressure right in his face that time, and the pass was deflected.
Redskins have 10 first downs. Buffalo only 1. It is 17-0 Washington. We're early in the second quarter. Going wide to the left is Charlie Brown. They put Monk in the slot. You get an end zone view of this one. The throw is complete at the 10-5. Touchdown, Charlie Brown. The extra point will come from Mark Mosley. Theismann's hold, okay, and 24-0.
All right, now when you're Ernest Rhodes and you have the experience that he has and you're the finest defensive back the Bills have to offer, when you go for this, you should get it. He misses here. Charlie Brown is in the end zone. Look out, NSC. Charlie Brown is back.
When you first see the Mazda RX-7, you begin to understand why it has become a legend among today's sports cars. Because beyond its classic styling, you soon discover the sheer perfection of its bucket seats. You experience its comprehensive instrumentation and feel the preciseness of its 5-speed. These things alone help make it an exceptional value. But to gain an even deeper understanding of the RX-7, you're going to have to experience roads like these for yourself. Mazda RX-7. Experience it.
America's driving over. America's driving to Firestone.
Firestone's Drive Over Sale. Save up to 30% on tires, Mastercare service, batteries. Save on every size 721 steel belted radio from only $29.95. Plus, save on Mastercare warranted service, tune-ups, shocks, batteries, and more. Firestone's Drive Over Sale at Firestone now.
Firestone.
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. By Light Beer from Miller, everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. And by your Firestone retailers coast to coast. Come on, America, drive over to Firestone.
Here's Jeff Hayes kicking off again. He's going to get tired if he keeps this up. And Williams at the 15, the 20, 25, 30, out to the 40, 45, and a fine return for Van Williams. Jeff Hayes, the man that kicked off, and of course who also does the punting, ran him out of bounds over there. Now a good move up that sideline.
It was a kickoff return a week ago by Andre Waters of the Philadelphia Eagles that beat the Redskins. Apparently the Redskins have not corrected the problem. Van Williams gets outside, a good block, gets on the outside, and if it were not for Jeff Hayes there, he would have gone all the way.
Coach Joe Gibbs been a little disappointed in his specialty units, but of course this club, like so many, have had a lot of injuries. Byron Franklin going in motion. First down for the Bills. Handoff to Bell. Bell's over the 50 and into Redskin territory at the 47-yard line. Ken Coffey, number 48, the strong safety, making the play. Bills start the day 27th on offense. Down 24-0 already. They rank 22nd in rushing and 24th in passing in the NFL.
And of course, no one needs to tell any Buffalo fan that the Bills need a score quickly. But with Joe Theismann's arm, with Joe Ferguson's arm being in the condition that it is, I quite frankly don't think that he can get the ball downfield.
On second down and 3. Bell again. Very close to the first down. Dexter Manley, 72, wrapped him up at about the 44-yard line. It looks like they might just be a bit short. The Rams get a touchdown. Tampa Bay up by 2 in the second quarter. Houston takes the lead over Cleveland 10-7 in the second quarter.
Now, when you have a player as talented and explosive as Greg Bell is, obviously you want to get the football in his hands as much as you can, Jay. But 24-0, it's time maybe to start exploring ways to get a quick strike.
3rd and 1. Speedy Neal is in the lineup, number 41, with Greg Bell. And that's Neal banging for the first down. They list him at 254, but he's a little heavier than that.
You know why they call him Speedy?
I'm not sure that head coach calls him Speedy.
They call Speedy Neal Speedy, not because he's a very fast runner, but his mom delivered him very quickly.
Neal coming back out of the lineup. He's the short yard specialist. He is a big fella.
The big fullback in Miami now. What's his name? Pete Johnson.
He came over from San Diego and originally was with Cincinnati.
You're talking huge action there.
1st and 10. Play action. Ferguson throwing downfield and incomplete. Darrell Green had the coverage on Byron Franklin, and that time Ferguson got that ball away good. Now we've got a fight at the 45-yard line. They're in a shoving match there as Kansas City leads the Giants 7-0. Washington, I'm sure, likes that score, and St. Louis 7-3 over Philadelphia. We have a penalty marker down near midfield as we had a shoving match. You see Devlin there, number 70, the 8-year veteran from Iowa. He's the right tackle. He was involved in it. Let's see what Ben Dreith.
There's a personal foul on both teams. We're going to wipe it off. 2nd down.
Well, he scolded both sides and said, let's go.
I don't like that, Jay. I don't like that. Penalize one team or the other. Get away from that stuff. That's no good. That doesn't do anything for either side. Now, Ferguson tried that quick strike we talked about. But you know what? You're not going to get rich quick going against Darrell Green on the deep one.
A tough assignment.
That's right.
2nd down at the 43-yard line. Bell and Moore are in the lineup now. And the pitch back coming to Greg Bell. Bell barely back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard on it. We'll wait till I spot it down. Rich Malott, number 57, the linebacker from Penn State, made the tackle.
Getting back to Darrell Green, Redskins left cornerback, Richard Pettibon, the defensive coordinator here, says that he's the most exciting defensive player I've seen in a long, long time. He's run the 100 meters in 10.08, one of the fastest times ever recorded, but he's such a fantastic athlete that he just has a lot of enthusiasm and effervescence in that secondary.
11 minutes to go in the first half. Redskins leading 24-0. Buffalo 1 for 4 on 3rd down situations, 3rd and 9. And they look like they're coming. Ferguson out of the shotgun. Ferguson steps up on the run right down the middle. First down at the 29-yard line. Well, Ferguson knew where he had to get to and did a good job, and the middle just opened up.
How would you like to be a quarterback of Joe Ferguson's stature and not even the best quarterback ever produced at your high school? That's right. He went to the same high school as Terry Bradshaw. Ferguson here sees the opening right there in the middle, does not scramble very often, but when he does, he makes it count.
The ball at the 29-yard line. He had 82 yards rushing coming into today's game. Speedy Neal is back in the lineup. Neal and Bell behind Joe Ferguson. Greg Bell down to the 22-yard line. Curtis Jordan, the free safety, made the tackle, number 22, and Bell is certainly quick off the ball.
He certainly is, and he's very, very powerful. 5'10", 215 pounds, we told you that. He has sprinter speed. Let's watch him off the mark here. Takes a good handoff now. Watch him get ready for the impact. Boom, takes that tackler right on and carries him another 5 or 6 yards. That's good running.
Joe Cribbs rushed for 1,185 yards as a rookie in 80. Bell came into today's game with 852.
He's a player.
And he has 22 yards on 7 carries today. 2nd down and 4. Banging his way up the middle is Speedy Neal. Neal gets inside the 20-yard line. Tom Beasley, number 67, stalled him at that point. Cleveland leading Houston now 17-7 in the second quarter. And let's see where they're going to spot this down. It is close to a first down. They're going to ask for a measurement. We'll pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
WRC-TV, Channel 4. Washington, D.C.
With Reggie Rucker, Jay Randolph at RFK Memorial Stadium, sold out for the 139th time. 55,363 seats sold, and the measurement, they're just a little short of the first down. You see Grant coming back in, number 77 for the Redskins.
Jay, in this situation, you know what I would do? I would go for the big play.
Put it up, huh?
That's right, because a gamble isn't a gamble unless you have something to lose. And certainly the Bills have something to lose right now because they could lose the ball. Yet, on the other hand, the Redskins are expecting a run. I would pass the football.
Third and less than a yard. And Bell is to the 15-yard line. He hurdled him and made the play work as Greg Williams, 47, came up and made the stop.
Excuse me, the Redskins had 9, 10 men right at the line of scrimmage. That's why I said if there was some kind of a fake with play action and you throw the football, you virtually have a one-on-one in the secondary uncontested. But this turned out to work very well for the Bills. They have a first down.
Joe Gibbs, no pro playing experience. 2 national racquetball championships to his credit, though. First down, 10 for the Bills. Their deepest penetration, a problem. Ferguson had to go back and get it. Ferguson had a problem with his center, Will Grant, and that backs him up all the way back across the 25-yard line.
Very dangerous play for the Buffalo Bills because the only player who knew there was a fumble was Ferguson himself. See, everybody else is blocking and executing the play now. Joe gets back there in time, and you have to protect yourself, too, in this situation.
Oh, and Manley gave him a nice pop there, didn't he? Ferguson, in 2 games in his career against the Redskins, 23 out of 60 for 278 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He has played in 2 of the 3 meetings between these teams.
They have Rob Riddick in the backfield now, Jay. You may watch passes out of the backfield to him.
Riddick and Speedy Neal blitz. And down goes Ferguson. Rich Malott, 57, was coming. So was Curtis Jordan, 22. Penalty marker is down. It may be roughing. Ferguson was going to walk off, but now he turns around and says, maybe I can stay on the field. As somebody pointed out to him, there was a flag.
I talked to Joe Ferguson prior to today's ball game, and he told me that this is the best he's felt physically all year long, and apparently so because we've seen Joe do a lot of scrambling early on.
Penalty against the Redskins, roughing the passer.
Personal foul, number 77, for spearing the quarterback with his helmet.
Darrell Grant, number 77, he's coming off. Darrell, who played at Rice.
Man, when you're 6'1", 275, you don't want to take a spear in the back if you're... Ooh, yes. You can't do that, my man Darrell Grant. That's illegal.
Automatic first down at the 25-yard line for the Bills. Bell and Neal in the backfield. And this is Bell down to the 23-yard line. Beasley, 67, and Charles Mann, 71, made the play. Number 50, Larry Cuban, coming in at middle linebacker now for the Redskins to replace Neil Olkowitz.
You know, Jay, inexplicably, Ferguson is running right at the heart of that Redskin defense. I mean, he is going right at Olkowitz and Grant and Butts ordinarily, but Brooks today, and you just can't beat this football team running the football straight at them.
We'll mention again Dave Butts in Arlington Hospital with a flu. Dave, if you're watching, hope you're feeling better. Harry Brooks in there replacing him today. Speedy Neal cracks inside the 15-yard line. Down to the 14. Curtis Jordan, number 22, makes the tackle. An update, NFL 84.
All right, Jay, a bit of a surprise at Giants Stadium in what has been a defensive battle, but Bill Kinney's broken the scoreless tie, hitting Stephon Page, a 26-yard strike. Nice catch by Page. 7-0 Kansas City, but the Giants are now threatening.
Thank you, Bill McAtee. Bill Kinney is a tough kid. I tell you, he's had a lot of adversity, and has come back to hang in there. Had a terrible time with a banged-up thumb. First down for the Bills. And it is complete at the 8-yard line to Preston Denard. Denard got both feet down, the veteran, now in his 7th season out of New Mexico. 33 catches last year with the Rams.
Now, the closer you get to the goal line, the more apt the defensive back is to come up and play right on the receiver. Vernon Dean didn't do that right here, but you'll see him do that next time out of the huddle.
At the 8-yard line, second down, 4. 5:50 to go. We're in the second quarter. Touchdown, Byron Franklin. Franklin getting the catch. Vernon Dean had the coverage, but Franklin got the best of him.
Jay, we were just talking about employing the bump and run coverage in this area of the field. Vernon Dean didn't do it. You can't cover a receiver in this area of the field unless you're bump and running because of the pick action. Now there's Byron Franklin catching an uncontested touchdown because he wasn't head up on the receiver, shoving him and pushing him at the line of scrimmage.
Try for the extra point. Chuck Nelson, the free agent. Matt Kofler will hold. The kick is up, and it is good. We have 5 minutes and 46 seconds remaining to be played in the first half here at RFK Memorial Stadium in D.C. The Skins lead it.
I have taken on many fighters and tried many beers. One beer isn't a class by itself. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling. It weighs in at a third less calories than the regular beer. Yes, I discovered your greatest beer, but I never met your greatest fighter. Hey, who is this Billy Martin anyway?
Billy Martin? He's warm, he's gentle, good looking too.
I got to meet this guy.
Leg beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Only Mazda's got a sporty truck with just $59.95.
I just got a sporty truck priced like some base trucks. The Mazda B2000 SE5. Look, it comes standard with a 5-speed, radials and spoker wheels, sporty stripes, step bumper, and dual sport mirrors. Pretty sporty for just $59.95.
Sakes alive!
Mazda SE5. The NFL plays here, Denver.
The playoff-bound Broncos know it ain't over till it's over. They've been down against the NFL's toughest and have come back time and again.
The NFL plays here, Kansas City.
The Chiefs stack up 11 angry men aimed at putting AFC quarterbacks away.
The Broncos battle the Chiefs. Your team plays here.
My team plays here.
Washington leads at 24-7. We get word from the Meadowlands that the Giants have scored. Carpenter, a 1-yard touchdown, so it's 7-7 there with Kansas City. Jaworski is out of the game for Philadelphia and St. Louis, where the Cardinals lead 7-3. Griffin, Kane, and Wansley back to receive the kickoff from Chuck Nelson. Griffin at the 20, 25, fights his way near the 29-yard line. Don Wilson, number 21, made the tackle. 5:37 left to go in this first half. We'll be back with more from Washington in a moment.
It doesn't take much looking for you to know the Mazda GLC sedan is a lot more than mere transportation. At $66.95, you also know it's an outstanding value. And when you look inside, you see seats you just wouldn't expect in an economy car. You see one of the largest interiors in its class, and you experience a precise shifting 5-speed. But one thing you may not know is just how much fun it is to drive. Mazda GLC sedan. Experience it.
When I launched this business a few years back, we were building mostly skiffs and dinghies. Now look what we're putting in the water. You know why this yard caught on? Because we do a good job at a fair price. We like Meisterbrow for the same reason. Sure, we could pay more for beer now, but this is a big, full-bodied taste without a big price.
Fellas,
dropping right here.
Meisterbrow, big taste, without the big price.
Monday on TV's Bloopers, comedy classics with young Johnny Carson, practical jokes on Kim Fields and Tony Danza, and some embarrassing moments from Cheers. Monday.
Well, he doesn't look like he's 40 years old, but he is. Jim Hart, free agent of Southern Illinois University, his 19th season. Great star, of course, with the Washington Redskins for many years. The backup quarterback here now. First down for the Redskins. And Theismann throwing it out to Monk. Monk along the far sideline, banged down at the 32-yard line by Charles Romes, number 26. Here's an update, NFL 84.
All right, Jay, we showed you the Kansas City touchdown a moment ago, but the Giants have come right back. Rob Carpenter takes it in from the 1, 7-7. They're locked up once again in the Meadowlands late in the second quarter.
Here in Washington, 24-7. The Redskins. We get word about Ron Jaworski. Philadelphia suffered a fractured left fibula. He's out for the year. Second down and 7 for the Skins. And Theismann looking and hitting Didier. The gain for the first down at the 41-yard line. Rod Cush, 42 on the tackle. Didier, he was looking to him all the way on this play.
That's the companion play. That's the companion play to the play you've seen them hit Monk with a number of times. They run the option off of that play.
In the second quarter, St. Louis has the lead over Philadelphia in a very important game for them. Pittsburgh putting it on San Diego. Tampa Bay leading 16-10 over the Rams in the second quarter. Monk comes to the near sideline. And the handoff going to Griffin. Griffin near midfield, short of a first down. Got it over the 49-yard line before Cush, 42, made the play. Jacoby's been doing an excellent job from that left tackle spot today, number 66.
He really has. They call this a counter tray, and they bring the offside tackle, Jacoby, and the offside guard, Grimm, back to the other side. Now, this fella's been watching Riggins a lot. Look, bang, the little fella, 5'8", 185, runs down the defensive back.
46 yards on the day. Jacoby, number 66 in left tackle. He can be dominating at times. It is second down and 1. Penalty markers down. The Skins have a free play. Some more penalty markers go down as Griffin fumbled that ball as he got near the 42-yard line. So we'll have to have the officials unravel this one. Ben Williams there, number 77 on the tackle, along with 56, Darryl Talley.
Well, the Redskins apparently are going to keep the football because Buffalo was offside.
Well, there were one set of flags thrown and then another set. So Ben Dreith is having a meeting there. You see the umpire, Ed Piffick, talking with him. And now coming in to make a point or two is Mr. Williams.
Sometimes with a quarterback like Theismann, you can draw the defense off sides illegally.
Ben Dreith in the black hat, and of course there is Joe Gibbs. Came to D.C. from San Diego, where he was the offensive coordinator for Don Coryell. His philosophy is not quite the Coryell philosophy.
76 5-yard face mask, 5 yards at the end of the fumble. That's a first down.
Call against Smirlis. And you see the head linesman over there, Dale Williams, explaining the play to Kay Stevenson.
Watch number 76 in the center of your screen. Smirlis has his hand right on the face mask of Rick Donnelly. Good work, fellas, downstairs. Good camera work, Jay.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Belmont and his crew bringing you the sights and sounds of the NFL from Washington today. Art Monk going in motion. Keith Griffin getting down to the 33-yard line. Ben Williams, number 77 on the tackle. Steve Dance, our producer today, coordinating everything, and great to be back here in this beautiful city, our nation's capital. You can be proud of this town. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. It really is. I grew up here. I grew up here. I've become a Midwesterner now after 19 years in St. Louis, but it is always nice to come home.
You betcha.
Theismann's got him. Oh, Theismann blew a wonderful opportunity to get 6. Calvin Muhammad was all alone. There was nobody within 15 yards of him, and Joe got so excited, I think, when he looked over there, he just overthrew him.
Now, what happened with Joe in the pocket, as he starts to run out of the pocket, he gets his momentum, Jay, going forward, and that gives him too much on the ball. Now, they pick up the blitz very well. Watch the fake right there on Keating. Now, Joe's going forward, and he throws the ball too strong. Muhammad, as fast as he is, can't catch up with that one.
Boy, oh boy, Joe's got to really be upset with himself. Charlie Brown is in the lineup. 3rd down and 7. The blitz is coming, and they beat the blitz. And is it incomplete?
Yes, he dropped it.
It is an incomplete pass. Charlie Brown dropped that ball. Eugene Marr, 54, and Rodney Bellinger, number 36, had the coverage.
We can get a look at Charlie Brown. He's limping badly. Number 87.
And they're going to call on Mosley. You know, I keep talking about coming home. You went to school here, and I went to school here, but for my friends who know me as a West Virginian, I better mention that West Virginia is really home. Mark Mosley. Stephen F. Austin, now in his 13th season. 50-yarder. And no good. Wide to the right. Had plenty of foot, but he came up a little wide. So we have 2:17 left to play in the first half.
AT&T is in travel. How? By helping NASA exchange 56,000 bits of information in an instant. Just as we can help NASA send man beyond the Earth, we can help a travel agent send a man across the Earth. AT&T can help get instant information about hotels, rates, flights. We can tailor a long-distance data network big enough for NASA and one just right for you. The people of AT&T Communications. We're thinking about your business in ways you never thought of.
Say goodbye to America's favorite can of motor oil. That Quaker State quality America has trusted for over 70 years now comes exclusively in this unique, easy-to-pour plastic bottle.
So long, Spouts. See you, dirty hands.
Goodbye, oily rags.
No more leaky cans.
Get Quaker State's pen-grade protection and no mess, easy to open, pour, and reseal. Today, you need an oil this good in a package this good.
McCallum, a perfectly conditioned fighting machine who throws any punch effortlessly with power and speed. His vicious attacks to an opponent's midsection have earned him the nickname the Body Snatcher. McCallum versus Minchillo, the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship.
Here's Mark Mosley, the 82 MVP, 161 points in 83, the NFL record, and he's a little disgusted there, Reggie. He's a competitor.
Well, who says those kickers aren't very emotional about this game? This is an emotional game, and if you don't get emotional with it, you better get out of it.
One of the most popular gentlemen to ever wear the burgundy and gold, and a talented, talented fella. 24-7, out of the shotgun, over the middle, it is complete. That's Byron Franklin across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Monty Coleman, who is playing for the injured Mel Kaufman. Coleman, 51, made the tackle.
Now they will run the 2-minute drill. By that, they will call plays from the line of scrimmage. They have a set pattern, and they'll call them as they go.
Well, we got the 2-minute warning now. And Ferguson is going to try to get his Bills on the board before we come to halftime. We'll be back to see if he can do it in a moment.
I built my first house when I was 10. It was just a tree house, but it's still up there, and I'm still building the last. My partner and I, we have a waiting list longer than this beam because we don't cut corners. We charge a fair price. Pretty much the same reasons we drink Meisterbräu. Sure, we could pay more for beer, but this has a great full-bodied taste without a big price. Come on, guys. We've earned ourselves a cold one today. How's it going?
Meisterbräu, big taste, without the big price.
Sakes alive, sakes alive, sakes alive. Mazda's got a sporty truck for just $59.95.
I just got a sporty truck priced like some base trucks. The Mazda B2000 SE5. Look, it comes standard with a 5-speed, radials and spoker wheels, sporty stripes, step bumper, and dual sport mirrors. Pretty sporty for just $59.95.
Sakes alive!
Mazda SE5.
Jay Randolph and Reggie Rucker. You see right on the front of the Redskin press guide that shot of Theismann. He's holding a ball right on the end there.
Yes, Joe Theismann holds the ball back like that. Now, Terry Bradshaw held the ball like that. Another name you'll recognize, Roger Staubach, held the ball like that. So they can hold the ball in a number of ways. The important thing is to pass it accurately.
All right. And we're getting back to the action here as the Buffalo team tries to get on the board before we come to halftime. They've got it second down and about 2 as the shotgun is again used. And Green coming up. Ken Coffey was there also as Ferguson threw into double coverage.
Take a look at him. Comes in and makes the play, diving in front of Byron Franklin, and as we told you, the man with the great speed from Texas A&I is all over the field.
Third down and 2. Again from the shotgun. Ferguson throws. It is complete to number 88, Mike Mosley. And Mosley has a first down at the 48-yard line. Larry Cuban, number 50, making the tackle. We've got 1:40 to go in this first half. Again, it's the shotgun formation. Ferguson again throwing to Mosley. And Mosley to the 43-yard line before he's wrapped up by Larry Cuban. He'll give them these short ones to eat up the clock.
Certainly will, but there is enough time, Jay, with 1:23 left in the ball game and in the first half and 2 timeouts now. The Bills have to get a play that will gain them a substantial amount of yardage, and they probably are going to have to get it in the middle of the field because the Redskins are protecting the perimeter.
All right, and we'll be back to RFK in Old D.C. in just a moment.
This emergency room is providing a unique new healthcare service. Here in Buffalo, doctors, pharmacists, and other healthcare professionals have volunteered their time and resources to make medical care available to people who really need it but can't afford it.
Hi, I'm Mark Kramer of the Buffalo Bills, and this is my wife, Patty.
Today we're at one of the intensive care units that is part of this project that serves the unemployed and uninsured.
Here's how it works. Requests for services are coordinated through a United Way Hotline Information Center that links people's health needs with physicians who have volunteered to take their cases.
This is one of the most modern and widely recognized intensive care units for infants in the country. But help is here for all members of the family.
As parents, we know the feeling of security that comes when your family will be cared for. And we know that the United Way is working to solve problems to make that a reality. United Way, thanks to you, it works for all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
There's Mark Kramer out of Michigan State, and he is only able to do the deep snapping today. He's had some injuries. Also, of course, plays tight end.
His wide receiving teammate at Michigan State, Kirk Gibson of the Detroit Tigers.
Second down and 1. Buffalo at the Redskin 42-yard line. Shotgun again. Down the sidelines. Oh, great play by Anthony Washington. Anthony Washington at the last second got a hand on that ball. Preston Denard looked like he might have a touchdown.
This was a touchdown-saving play by Anthony Washington, if he in fact did get a hand on it. Denard with a good out move. Makes a nice pattern. Let's see, right there at the end, he does, in fact, Jay, make a nice saving play on the
I'll
pass.
tell you, he really did. 6 deep backs in for the Skins. They're in the prevent. Kansas City back on top of the Giants second quarter up at the Meadowlands. Going wide to the right, 81, Mitchell Brookins. Ferguson from the gun on 3rd and 2 over the middle. Looked like he got the first down. It's going to depend on the spot. No, he got it at the 40-yard line. The catch made by Denard. A little pop pass right over the middle. Clock running down to 1 minute left to play in this first half.
The Bills are putting extreme pressure on the Redskins. They have their fastest players out there right now. Mosley, Brookins, Franklin.
And Theismann steps up and throws, and he overthrows Preston Denard. And for the Buffalo Bills, Joe Devlin is hurting and limping off on the far sideline. You can see Devlin in a little pain. Looked like he might have taken a shot in his right eye there. Bobby Costas, along with Ahmad Rashad, Bill McAtee, and Peter Axthelm will join us at halftime.
This is the formation that the Buffalo Bills will have to use if they're to get back into this football game. Spread the defense. Get the 3 wide receivers in the football game. Create a lot of passing lanes.
Ferguson, 7 out of 17. Directing traffic, sends Brookins to the far sideline. Again from the shotgun. Throwing, he's got a man, and incomplete. Well, Rob Riddick had a step or two on Monty Coleman. Remember, Coleman is playing for the injured linebacker, Mel Kaufman, and that's what they wanted, Reggie. They had him isolated out there on a linebacker one-on-one.
This has been the story of the Buffalo Bills season this year. Ferguson makes a nice pass to Rob Riddick. Riddick runs an excellent route, but what's the problem? They don't finish off the play. The execution isn't there at the end. Now, that's a catchable football, and that ball should have been caught.
Kansas City now up 17-7 up at the Meadowlands over the Giants, and they're loving that here. Booker Moore and Rob Riddick in there. They're spread out in the shotgun again on 3rd down. Out it comes to Booker Moore. Beats one man, and he got it down to the 38-yard line, well short of a first down. I wonder about a little screen in the flat like that on a 3rd down and long. Darrell Green had the play figured out very well. They call a timeout with 26 seconds remaining in this first half as we look at Kay Stevenson.
Well, Ferguson knew that the Bills, that the Redskins would be utilizing a prevent defense, Jay. And what he was trying to do is get enough yardage underneath, maybe 7 or 8 yards, so that it will give him a 4th down situation that he can make.
Kay Stevenson, who will be 40 years old December the 17th from the Funiac Springs, Florida, and Joe Gibbs. Gibbs, a tight end and linebacker for Don Coryell at San Diego State, and later united with Coryell as an assistant coach for him. His 4th year as head coach of the Skins.
Kay Stevens, you were talking about a moment ago, played his collegiate football at University of Florida, and he played behind a very fine quarterback by the name of Steve Spurrier.
That's one of his great claims to fame. That's right. Well, they're facing 4th and 7, and they have 2 timeouts remaining. I would think they'd be trying to get something for the first down right here, naturally, and try to keep something going for the possibility of the touchdown or the field goal from Nelson.
Well, I think the key receiver here will be the inside receiver. Whoever is playing the inside receiver. Now, it's going to be Byron Franklin, number 85. I think that Ferguson will look for Franklin.
From the shotgun, 4th down. Ferguson throws, it is complete, and not enough for the first down, though. Booker Moore had to beat Ken Coffey, and he didn't do it. Coffey, the strong safety, came up there and made a fine tackle.
That's just not the kind of play you need in that situation. If you're the Buffalo Bills, you don't have anything to lose. You must throw the football downfield to pick up the first down.
Dexter Manley shaken up on the play.
Now, I thought the player to go to was Franklin. Now, watch Franklin. Watch the move here. He's the best receiver they have. Now, he's looking for the ball, and he has a pretty good area to run to, and there's some throwing room.
Wide open?
Yes.
My goodness.
You have to look downfield first before you come back and lay the ball off.
Theismann, 13 out of 17 here in the first half for 148 yards. Ferguson is 7 of 19. 63 yards. Dexter Manley out of Oklahoma State. Oklahoma defeating Oklahoma State yesterday, and the Sooners are headed for the Orange Bowl.
Dexter Manley, one of the more popular Redskins around town. He's always involved in a lot of civic activities. I understand he has his own radio show, Jay, and just an outstanding player. Came here as a free agent, special teamer. 4.5 speed, excellent for a big man.
Joe Ferguson, Coach K. Stevenson. Manley up.
Remember that Mohawk haircut?
Yeah. Well, I remember the Mohawk haircut of one John Riggins, too.
Yeah. He's okay.
Well, the Redskins now with 20 seconds left in the first half. Pittsburgh 24-10 over San Diego. Griffin is a single setback. In motion goes Didier. And Theismann throws to the far sideline, complete to Monk. And Monk stepped out of bounds at the 41-yard line with 13 seconds remaining in the half. Rod Cush, 42, had the coverage.
That was a very clever pattern by Art Monk. Watch it now. He just cruises down the field, and he's going to do something that's very, very slick. Watch him go in here now run back to the sideline. The defender doesn't know where he is. Good pattern by Art Monk.
You're watching the Bills and the Skins. Later this afternoon, you'll watch the Skins game right here.
All right, Jay.
NBC. Complete to Calvin Muhammad at the 41-yard line. Timeout called. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Now, see, Theismann is doing what I felt Joe Ferguson should have done when they had the football. You have to throw the ball vertically. By vertically, we mean throw the ball downfield. There are a lot of lanes and alleys in there that you can throw to. Muhammad just cruising in between linebackers, settling down, and takes the good throw from Joe Theismann.
They have one timeout left to the Redskins as Gibbs talks it over with Theismann. And Joe has had an excellent first half. They'll try to get it in range for Mosley.
Let me say something about those statistics you see there. 15 of 19, 175 yards. That is not what you call a liberal passing philosophy. That is a conservative passing philosophy. That's control the ball passing. And without John Riggins, they have utilized the short passing attack to perfection.
The coaching staff here, Richie Pettibone, Joe Bugle, along with Torgy Torgerson and Bill Hickman. And
they all have some nice nicknames.
Oh, yeah. Charlie Taylor, of course, the receivers coach here. Jerry Rome.
That's an excellent staff.
Warren Simmons, Wayne Sevier coaches the special teams. First down, 7 seconds left. Theismann throwing and complete. 2 seconds left at the 34-yard line, and Mosley will get a shot. The pass complete to Didier.
The ball is on the 34, add 17 to that. You've got a 51-yard attempt. Here's Theismann looking for just enough yardage to put the ball within the range of Mark Mosley. Outstanding catch by Didier there. Also gets out of bounds, gives Mark Mosley a chance to hit a 51-yarder.
Mosley's longest in his career, 54 yards. This one is good.
Wow.
Mosley with a 51-yarder. Well, the Redskins, all the best of it. Mosley kicked a 51-yarder in 1977 against the Giants. Also has kicked them that long against Philadelphia and Atlanta. The end of the first half, the Redskins lead it. Here at RFK Stadium, the Redskins are leading at 27-7, and they've got to be pretty happy when they realize the Giants are losing up at the Meadowlands.
Certainly do, Jay. And this way they can keep pace with the Dallas Cowboys, of course, who won Thanksgiving Day. And if they should go on to win this game, they would have a record of 8-5 as well.
The Cardinals are winning at the moment over Philadelphia 7-6, as Bob Costas and the crew brought you up to date. Mosley missed a field goal here, a little agony for him early on, but then he came back and kicked the 51-yarder and sent his team into the locker room at halftime feeling pretty good, I'm sure.
Well, this game is such an emotional roller coaster ride that you never know when you're going to be up, you never know when you're going to be down, so you give it the very best you have, because you never know when you're going to need it and when it's going to make the big play and to make the difference in the ball game.
Well, a couple of different views right there of that talented kicker. First he was disappointed, and then he was mighty happy to kick a 51-yarder. The longest in his career, as I mentioned, was a 54-yarder in Philadelphia in 1977. Oh, they're back on the field here, the sellout crowd watching the Bills and the Redskins. Theismann needs 9 yards passing to become the all-time Redskin career passing leader and to go by the 22,585 set by Sonny Jurgensen.
Speaking of Sonny Jurgensen, we talked to Sonny Jurgensen before the ball game, and you take a look here at the stats. Passing yards, 182 Redskins, 71 Bills, primarily because of the ball control passing offense of Joe Theismann. That has been the difference in this ball game today.
And we're underway. That is Nelson kicking off and going out of bounds, and we're going to have a 5-yard penalty, and we'll come back and do it again.
Speaking of Chuck Nelson, the Buffalo Bills kicker, you know, he set the NCAA record at Washington, 30 consecutive field goals. And incidentally, Washington will be playing Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl right here on NBC.
And the Rose Bowl you mentioned, that's going to be USC and Ohio State. I was in Columbus yesterday, and the folks in that part of the world are getting ready for that one already.
They've got a pretty good football player on that Ohio State team also, Keith Byers.
Yes, sir. Remember, on New Year's Day, you will see the Fiesta, the Rose, and the Orange. Kay Stevenson, Bills quarterback coach, 78-82. Came to the Bills in 68. He was a free agent out in San Diego in 67. Injuries hurt his playing career. And we're ready to do it again. Nelson kicking off from the 30. Rick Lane at the 20. 25, 30, 35. Ball. And a big pile up. The Bills think they have it at the 40. Brian Carpenter, number 30, made the hit, and he may have come up with a ball. It is the Bills football.
That's the way you get back in a football game. Turnover. Now, the Redskins were victimized by their own turnovers a week ago. And once again, on the opening kickoff, they do the same thing right here. They allow the Buffalo Bills an opportunity to get back into this football game. Let's watch what Joe Ferguson does on the first play.
Carpenter, of course, a former Redskin with the Skins in 83 and part of 84, then traded. He made the play. First down at the 40-yard line. Bell and Booker Moore behind Joe Ferguson. A give to Bell and nothing there. Boy, they really jam it up in the middle. There are about 8 or 9 of the Redskins in there. Olkowitz, the middle linebacker, 52, leading the way.
You mentioned some of the great Redskin quarterbacks of years gone by, Jay, and I just couldn't help thinking that right then and there, with the momentum in your favor, why not do something in which you can get a big play right now? Some of the great quarterbacks that we've watched over the years would have done that in that situation.
Well, I was fortunate to see Sammy Ball play many a game at Old Griffith Stadium here, and he was as fine a thrower as I ever saw. Look at the comparison there of the quarterback stats in a big day for Washington and Theismann. Here's a little delay, and you've got to wonder about the play calling here in this situation. Greg Bell carries it down to the 36-yard line. When you're down 27-7 and have a half to play and get a break, and you run 2 little running plays into the line.
what happens is you squander the opportunity to seize the momentum. You take a chance that you can hit a big play and get your players psyched up, get them back into this football game emotionally, and the Buffalo Bills didn't do that on the first 2 downs.
Rob Riddick in the lineup, number 40, along with Booker Moore, number 34, and it is Ferguson from the shotgun on 3rd down and 7. And the throw is there, and a touchdown to Preston Denard. Well, they got the big play.
Exactly, Jay, and that's what we were talking about. Utilize these outstanding wide receivers, these players with the good speed that he has, and start throwing the ball vertically downfield. This is the only way you can make big plays happen and get back into the ball game when you're this far behind. You must throw the football downfield.
Anthony Washington had the coverage and just couldn't quite get there.
Preston Denard, we talked about him earlier. He was obtained from the Los Angeles Rams. He has good hands, fine moves. He ran an exquisite pattern just then.
His 7th touchdown of the season. Nelson, the second-year man from the University of Washington. Matt Kofler to hold. It is up, and it is good. And the Buffalo Bills bounce back here in the opening moments of the 3rd quarter. 27-14 Washington.
A Mercedes owner with an eye for exceptional cars has just seen one. The Continental Mark 7. He wants to get a better look at it. For now, he must be content with the knowledge that this new Mark gives Mercedes something it hasn't had before: competition. The Continental Mark 7.
East Point, Maine and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. East Point means a New England clam bake, summer fun and food at its best. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer and smooth golden Old Milwaukee Light.
Old Milwaukee.
And Old Milwaukee Light.
Taste as great as their name.
You know, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Today's game is brought to you by Lincoln, what a luxury car should be. By GTE, advancing technology in telecommunications and electric products. And by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this.
Well, it's a little bit better for the Buffalo Bills. 27-14. Nelson kicking off. Griffin, Wansley, and Kane are back there. Number 35, Keith Griffin, over the 20. 25, out to the 29-yard line. Joe Azelby, number 50, is there to make the play.
Going back to that touchdown, Jay, it figures that the Redskins are 23rd in the league versus the pass. So throw the football, use the 3 wide receivers, and force man-to-man, particularly on Anthony Washington, and you've got something going.
Up to date you on a couple of scores very quickly here. Kansas City 17-14 over the Giants. They're in the 3rd quarter. Cardinals leading Philadelphia by 1. Redskins start from their own 29 as Monk goes in motion. Play action, throw to the near sideline to Mohammed. Mohammed has a first down at the 41-yard line. Some more scores for you. Pittsburgh having a big day against the Chargers. It is now the Rams over Tampa Bay, 17-16 in the 3rd quarter. And Cincinnati 28-7 over Atlanta in the 3rd. Cleveland 20-7 over Houston in the 3rd quarter. Griffin behind Theismann, who has just set the Redskins' career passing mark, bettering Jurgensen's old total. Hand off to Griffin. And Griffin is out to the 43-yard line. Haslett, 55, made the tackle.
Regardless of what the Buffalo Bills do inside versus the run, they won't stop the Redskins unless they do something out here on the corner with Brian Carpenter. Carpenter is giving the wide receivers too much room. You cannot play that loose in this league. So whenever Theismann wants something, all he has to do is come right out here on the right side against number 30, Brian Carpenter.
Theismann now with 22,596 yards, going past Sonny Jurgensen. Monk in motion, handoff to Griffin. Griffin down to about the 48-yard line. Chris Keating, number 52, made the stop. Saw Sonny Jurgensen today before the game. Tampa Bay coming back against the Rams. Jurgie looked good, didn't he, today when we were visiting with him?
Well, he was just in the next booth right there, too.
Yep.
And who's that guy beside him?
Sammy Lee Huff, one of my old West Virginia buddies. Joe Gibbs along the sidelines. Jeff Moore now in the game for the Redskins, number 30. Charlie Brown is in there. That's Brown going in motion on 3rd down and 4. And the throw is complete. Art Monk for a first down at the 44-yard line.
And who does he make the catch on? Number 30, Brian
Carpenter. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
WRC-TV, Channel 4. Washington, D.C.
And we just saw that slow motion view of that pass out to Monk.
The Bills will have to make a philosophical adjustment in their pass defense. They must give Brian Carpenter some help.
Well, they haven't put much pressure on Theismann either today. Haven't been able to. Didier in motion. Play action again. Theismann looks, throws, and it is complete. Calvin Muhammad has a first down inside the 30-yard line. Again, Brian Carpenter was the man back there for the Bills. They're working on Carpenter and getting the job done.
Now, we're not trying to vilify Brian Carpenter because I'm sure he's a good football player. But he is being asked to do something outside the realm of his abilities. Well, I don't know what that was. That was a little play action faking, but
yeah.
He is absolutely incapable of keeping up in a man-to-man fashion with the Washington Redskins receivers.
Vilify, that's a good word. You learned that at Anacostia, I'm sure.
Yeah.
1st and 10. The give goes to Griffin. Griffin is near the 20-yard line. He's having a good game, this young man, a rookie from Miami, averaging 4.2 per carry coming into today's play. Tally 56 and Marr 54 on the tackle.
Have you been aware of the resurgence of the little man in professional football? There are a number of small players who are beginning to make a big statement in the game of professional football.
That's right.
They're saying, hey, we can play this game too.
Well, we're seeing it with Griffin. The Cardinals have a young fellow named Stump Mitchell who can play with the best of them. Of course, Cribbs wasn't very big.
That's right. Tony Dorsett.
2nd down and 2. Monk in motion to give to Griffin. He's in trouble. No gain on the play as Rod Cush, number 42, came up from the secondary. And he had some help from Marr, 54. We have 9 minutes, 30 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter.
I was talking a minute ago about making an adjustment defensively to handle what professional teams do to you. Suffice it as to say, Jay, teams very rarely will make that adjustment. They go through practice all week long, and they have their tendencies, and they want to play certain defenses, and they almost absolutely will not change.
Wansley and Kane now in the backfield. That is Kane in motion. Wansley, and I don't know if he got there or not. It's very, very close.
He's short of the first down. Question is, will they go for it on 4th down? It'll be very, very close.
Smirlis, the nose man, 76, made the tackle, and the fans here are already yelling, go, go, go. I think we're going to get a measurement. We are. Kay Stevenson, once an assistant at Rice, had a fine high school career in Florida. There's Joe Gibbs with his hands folded there.
Kay Stevenson, as a member of the Buffalo Bills, had as teammates 2 other now head coaches in the National Football League, Schottenheimer and Flores. You saw how short the measurement was.
They're going. They lead it 27-14. And they're going to try to make an offensive statement right here.
That's right. This is a playoff atmosphere. There is no tomorrow. The Redskins are making their tomorrow today.
Theismann asks for quiet. Kane and Wansley in the backfield. Wansley.
Oh.
Well, it's going to depend where they put it down. I think he got it by about a yard. Haslett 55, Williams 77, first down.
Well, there wasn't anything that Otis Wansley did that time, but instead credit that first down to that offensive line of the Washington Redskins. They just pushed the Buffalo Bills back.
$8:16 to play in the third quarter.
Take a look at it now. If you're in a short yardage situation, you're a runner, you want your line to give you at least the line of scrimmage. Wansley had no contact until he was beyond the first down marker.
Griffin, a single setback. Monk goes in motion. And Theismann gives to Griffin, and a fine play by Smerlas. Smerlas, who played at Boston College, got to be pretty happy about what Flutie and the boys have done, making the stop. Should mention at this point that Art Monk has 7 catches today, and that ties him on the all-time list with Charlie Brown. Now, let's see. That put him at 78, right? 78 last year. Joyner hasn't caught a pass today. We get word of that. So Monk has a chance to break the single season record all time with his next catch. And Theismann is rolling and throwing. And he was going for Monk, but there was double coverage there. Theismann had pretty good pressure that time. Wilson 21 and Carpenter 30 had the coverage. And Haslett was bearing down on Theismann.
Very smartly designed play by Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs, they call that a dash, in which the quarterback backs out of there like a backup pattern, and then he rolls to the side where he was throwing. And, of course, Art Monk had double coverage on the play.
Bobby Mitchell in 62 caught 72 passes. Taylor caught 72 in 66. Brown had 78 last season. Now Monk was 78. Third down and 15. And intercepted. Intercepted by Darryl Talley. Talley, the second-year man, number 2 draft choice out of West Virginia. Pass forced in for Don Warren. And Talley comes up with the interception for Buffalo.
That's Darryl Talley, number 56, the young man we talked about being an impact player from West Virginia. I don't think he realizes he has the football here, but Theismann tries to force it in to Darryl Talley, who makes the big play.
Shotgun Rapids, Idaho, and Old Milwaukee folks mean something great to these guys. The shotgun means white water at its best. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp, Old Milwaukee beer. And smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
And Old Milwaukee.
And Old Milwaukee Light.
Taste as great as their name.
You know, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this. Mama said. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this. My mama said.
A car's shape isn't much good if it just looks good. So we shaped the Mercury Topaz to help it cling to the road, even on days like this.
Mama said, hey, don't you worry. Mama said,
Topaz.
Hey, don't you worry now.
From Mercury.
Join us for a doubleheader on NBC next Sunday. It all kicks off with NFL 84 at 12:30. Denver, Kansas City, Pittsburgh at Houston, Indianapolis at Buffalo, Cincinnati at Cleveland. And the late game, of course, is going to feature the Dolphins and the Raiders. That's all next Sunday here on NBC. Ferguson and the Bills start from the 2 after the interception by Talley. And getting the call is Greg Bell, and he didn't get much. Rich Malott, 57, the linebacker, leading the way for the Redskins. Well, what did the Bills? The Bills get that interception. It was a big, big saving interception by Talley. What do they have to do now?
Well, what needs to be done by the Buffalo Bills, the Bills need to utilize 3 wide receivers. What's happening when they bring in the 3 wide receivers is that they're forcing the Redskins to cover man-to-man, and Anthony Washington is not that good a man-to-man defender, and the Bills have a mismatch against him.
Ferguson bangs it up the middle with Booker Moore, and Moore gets them a little room out over the 5-yard line. Neil Okowitz, the linebacker, number 52, there on the tackle.
Obviously, it's pretty difficult to employ that strategy right now because the main objective of the Bills is to get that football away from the goal line.
Here come 3 wide receivers now, though. Here they come. They're going to put it into motion here.
Let's see if in fact that theory doesn't hold up. They are isolating someone every time, and you should get a completion when you have man-to-man.
And the Redskins put McGee in there, 78. Ricky Smith, 26. Anthony Washington, 24. And intercepted. And a touchdown for number 32, Vernon Dean. Vernon Dean's 7th interception this year, the 15th of his career, 2nd touchdown this season. He had a 36-yard touchdown here against the Giants. He comes back to score, and Ferguson is very upset, and well, he should be.
You could feel the momentum swinging to the Buffalo Bills just then. They did get that man-to-man that they were looking for. Ferguson did not make a good throw, and Dean picked it off.
Mosley's extra point. Well, a big turnaround here. The Redskins now out to a 34-14 advantage. 5:25 left in the third.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. Just send for me, oh baby.
Today, people are getting into better shapes than ever. Shapes that use the wind to help Mercury cars cling to the road. Shapes Mercury will be in for years because handling, comfort, and quality never go out of style.
All the excitement and raw enthusiasm of college basketball is back when UCLA battles DePaul. Next Saturday, come on home to college basketball on NBC.
As I said, now they're forcing the Redskins to cover man-to-man here. Rob Riddick, number 40, left side of your screen. All right, Ferguson should throw the ball inside, and he throws the ball too high and to the outside. Boy, an easy touchdown for Dean.
13th interception in the last 6.5 games for Ferguson. Only 4 TDs. That's since he came back from the ankle injury. Van Williams coming out at the 10. At the 15, bumped out of bounds at about the 19-yard line by Greg Williams, number 47. And the Bills will put it in play.
You take a play like the interception that Dean returned for a touchdown, Jay, and sometimes fans think, my, this is a horrible football team, or what's wrong with them? It's not really that drastic. Sometimes it's just a matter of one player not performing or not executing like he should.
Well, as you point out, that last pass inside would have really made something happen for Buffalo.
That's right.
The throw went outside. As we look at scores, the Cardinals still with playoff hopes. We've got a penalty marker down on this kickoff. Tampa Bay now doing it to the Rams 27-16. Offside, apparently, on the kickoff.
Usually on these special teams like this, when this happens, the culprit is usually eyed by everyone up and down that line, and they go, hey, come on, man, we don't want to run down here again.
6 penalties for Buffalo, 40 yards. That was the 3rd penalty for Washington, 25 yards. Joe Gibbs, man who had no playing experience as a professional football player, but has learned his lessons well. Jeff Hayes to kick off.
I was on the kickoff team once in my career, Jay, and I got blindsided, knocked down, and I got up and I headed for the sideline. The guy said, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, you're going to the wrong side."
Well, now they had another problem here. Back up and get going.
Jeff Hayes is mad.
Well, he's got this one away. And Williams watches it go by him. And somebody better down it back there, and they do. It'll come to the 20-yard line. Look out.
Doesn't take much for this to happen.
Just having a little gathering of the clan there.
When that kind of action started, I headed away from the pack because you could get hurt.
Never could understand why anybody want to swing at anybody with one of those helmets on now.
Well, some of those players have mighty tough hands.
Yes, that's true. That's true. We've got 5:07 left to play in the 3rd quarter. And the Redskins, after the interception and score by Vernon Dean, up 34-14. Hand off to Greg Bell. Bell bounces outside. He's at the 30 and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Coffey brought him out of bounds. He just kind of bounced off the pack in front of him, stayed close, and was able to get outside and pick up the 1st down. I mentioned that Bell needs only 37 yards a game in his last 4 games to rush for over 1,000 yards.
That was a cute run by Greg Bell because they hit him from both sides, and rather than fall down, both people hitting him from each side caused him to stay up.
53 yards on the day for Bell on 13 carries. Ferguson goes down at the 34-yard line. Darrell Grant, big number 77. Number 9 draft choice back in 1981, made the play. Grant needs to get a longer tail on that shirt. Larry Cuban is back in at middle linebacker, replacing Olkowitz. They do a lot of rotating of those middle linebackers, do the Redskins. 3 or more sacks in the last 11 games this season. That was the 3rd sack on Ferguson. They had 10 consecutive games. Now they tack on number 11. Bell and Speedy Neal in the backfield with Ferguson. Ferguson throwing and almost intercepted by Darrell Green. Green cutting in front of Byron Franklin. And this is what happens so often. Ferguson has a problem. He gets his head down.
All right, watch on the left side of your screen here. You'll see the amazing reaction time of Darrell Green. Look at him close to the football, get there with that great quickness, and knock down the pass.
Ricky Smith, 26, and end the game with McGee, 78, as they go to the prevent now on 3rd down and 15. Ferguson under pressure. On the run, throwing and completing, and that is Mike Mosley. He's got a 1st down at the 48-yard line.
I'm absolutely flabbergasted as to why Mike Mosley ran that ball out of bounds. And I'm certain he is too. He had a big play developing right there.
Think maybe he just didn't know where he was?
Well, sometimes you catch a ball and you know someone's going to hit you, and your first reaction is to get out of bounds, and he's completely surprised here as Ferguson gets outside the pocket, showing good mobility right now. Throws the ball on the run. Now watch Mosley, number 88, heading right for the sideline. What is going on?
Couldn't turn it up. I don't know why.
You better learn.
That's an old wide receiver talking. Not too old at that. 1st down for the Bills. And Ferguson misses Byron Franklin in the right flat. Been a frustrating afternoon for the former star from Arkansas. Threw a couple of interceptions last week and has thrown a couple today. One for the touchdown.
Well, there's no question, I think, that the Bills have an excellent opportunity to pass the football against the Redskins. Shore up the pass blocking for Ferguson, and I believe that they still have an opportunity to have some success throwing the football against this club.
2nd down and 10. Coming in to make the play was Rich Malott. There's a penalty marker down. Could have a holding call, but we'll wait till our referee, Ben Dreith, gives us an indication. It looks like it's got to be holding at this point as the Bills are walking backward.
Offensive holding, number 53. Decline a penalty. 3rd down.
They decline the penalty. Will Grant, the man who commits the infraction. Here come the Rams back. They've been seesawing back and forth down in Tampa this afternoon. Pittsburgh now 38-17. Malone to Stallworth.
What a year for Stallworth.
Yes, he's caught a couple today. 3rd down and 20 from the shotgun. Brookins goes in motion. Ferguson throws over the middle. Mitchell Brookins incomplete. Nowhere near close to a 1st down, even if he had caught the football.
Well, with Brookins and the great speed, they were hoping that he would catch something short, make a move here or there, and then just outrun some people. But one of the problems with Mitchell Brookins is holding on to the football.
Punting time for John Kidd of the Buffalo Bills. Mike Nelms dropping back. Greg Cater was let go. They like this young man, the rookie Kidd from Northwestern. Oh, and you can see why. Look at this punt. Into the end zone. Carried all the way to the 2-yard line. So the Redskins will take it from their own 20-yard line when we come back. 3:53 remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter.
The Nikon FG is the 35mm camera sophisticated enough for the serious photographer.
Camera, pictures, human fun.
Get switched to programmed, it's simple enough for total beginners. And it's so reasonably priced, it even makes a great gift.
Hey, guys, a Nikon FG with a 50mm lens. Wow! I always wanted one of those.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way.
We shaped the Mercury Cougar to help the car hug the highway. It's a shape you'll always feel good in. Just like that old leather jacket. Cougar. From Mercury.
Monday, it's an NBC world premiere movie. Lee Remick must fight for her life to save a kidnapped baby. Her last chance and her only hope is in the rear-view mirror.
There is Keith Griffin having a good day. Pound for pound, Miami's strongest player last year. The 10th round draft choice. Quite a find from the University of Miami. And Griffin with the football. Bangs his way up to the 23-yard line.
Of course, Jay, he's one of the famous football-playing Griffin brothers.
Yes, indeed. Played at Eastmore High in Ohio. Was on the National High School Coaches All-American squad. Rushed for more than 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns in a season in high school, and for 1,167 on 305 carries last year with Miami. 2nd down and 7. And Griffin again gets the call. There wasn't much there for him. He stepped inside of Mark May and got a yard or two before Darryl Talley made the tackle.
some of his effectiveness, Jay, has to come from the fact that he is only 5 foot 8 inches tall. And you take a look at some of the people up front, Jacoby and Grimm and Donnelly and people like that, you can't even see Griffin.
He's a tough little guy. Theismann is 19 out of 25 this afternoon. 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Redskins only 1 for 5 in the third down conversion area. Brown is in the game. Jeff Moore in there. 87 Brown, 30 Moore. Theismann. And fine catch by Art Monk. Oh. And Art Monk has just set the Redskins' single season receiving mark, surpassing Charlie Brown's record of last year. That was catch number 79. And by golly, he is a dandy, isn't he?
He sure is. And he made some easier catches early on in the ball game, but this is what happens. It all balances out. You get some easy ones, and then you make some outstanding leaping catches, one-handed, just like that. Art Monk from Syracuse.
Working on Carpenter again over there. Monk 8 catches, 66 yards. Throw to the far sideline. Monk has it at the 41. Chris Keating, 52, the linebacker, making the tackle. A minute and a half to play in the third quarter.
I'll tell you something. The Buffalo Bills are just too predictable defensively. Theismann knows that they're playing man-to-man. He knows that whenever he runs one of the receivers in motion, he can get a man-to-man in an easy short pass.
Have we seen a blitz today on a third down passing situation by Buffalo against
I do not
Washington?
think so.
Monk to the far sideline. Griffin getting the call. Fumble! And I don't know. It looked like Theismann might have gotten in under there before the Buffalo man, and they'll have to unravel them at the 41-yard line. Theismann popped in there at the last second. Whether he got over the ball or not is debatable. Let's see.
Nothing like a fumble in your own end to continue the drama.
They have it.
Well, they have to do that, Jay. There's a lot of lobbying going on right now. Yes,
sir. There certainly is.
Pulling and pushing downstairs.
Redskins have the football. I think it was either Theismann or Russ Grimm, number 68. They were right around the ball.
Well, let's see if we can watch number 68, Russ Grimm, about 280 pounds. Now, when he puts that big body on the ground going for the football, you better believe some people are going to scatter. See if you can see Grimm. There's Grimm, 68, going for the ball, 280 pounds. Now, he gets in there and grabs that
One
thing.
of the Bills had his hand on that ball before Grimm got in there and wrestled it away. Now, watch this.
Sometimes
one of the Bills gets his hand there, right there, but Theismann and Grimm got the job done. Third down and 3 for the Redskins, and it's complete for a first down to Jeff Moore. Moore, who played at Jackson State, making his 16th catch of the season. Tackle made by Martin Bayless, number 43, who's in there, along with Marr, 54, and the Steelers are having a field day. Houston has crept back into that one a little bit. They're in the fourth quarter, and Cleveland up by 10. And the whistle brings us to the end of the third quarter. The score is 34-14, Redskins. Now this from your local station.
I'm Scott Clark. Join me for the Redskin Locker Room Report, Sunday night at 11.
With Reggie Rucker, Jay Randolph at RFK Stadium, Washington, D.C. We go to the fourth and final period. 34-14, the Redskins. They're the two coaches, one rather happy and one rather concerned, naturally. Theismann 22 out of 28 today. Griffin again, not much doing for him this time. Leading the way, Jim Haslett, Chris Keating, and down the sideline, they're letting this play go. Now it's fumbled again. That was Wilson, and Muhammad picks it up. And this play's going to go, I believe. The Redskins lost it, but they got it back. That's going to be the situation. Oh,
what an opportunity Donald Wilson had to turn this game around. I thought that the play should have been dead right here where Griffin falls down. Now watch it. Let's see if a knee hits the ground before the ball comes out.
Well, I don't think
his forward motion was stopped, but now let's watch Wilson. And watch Muhammad with the great speed come from behind and strip the ball away from Wilson and then recovers the ball. What a play by Calvin Muhammad.
Here's another view of it. Griffin in trouble. Now let's see. When did that ball pop out of there?
He's down. It's got to be down. Now, you talk about having great speed for use other than an offensive purpose. Muhammad comes from all the way behind, strips the ball, and then makes the recovery.
Well, after all of this, the Redskins are going to have the ball at the 2-yard line. Maybe they should have had it a lot farther up the field. We'll be back with more from RFK in D.C. right after this.
Morning, Miss Stevens.
Oh, good morning.
Mr. Lewis.
After you buy IBM equipment for your business, we don't stop trying to make it even better. And if we make an engineering change, as part of our maintenance agreement, an IBM service representative will stop by and make the change.
You're asking, good as new? Better than new.
Our service representatives don't just keep your machines running. They make your machines run better.
He said it was better than new.
Think he can fix a 53 Studebaker?
IBM.
Where are you hurting the most, Jimmy?
Name it. Let's straighten up.
Yeah, we don't want to disappoint your fans.
No.
Hey, Jimmy, good run.
You had him right from the gate.
Your best deserves the best.
Two Bud Lights.
The less filling light beer with a first name and taste.
Hey, Jimmy!
Right.
Bud Light.
Today's game is brought to you by Prudential Bates Securities, where account executives provide total financial planning. By the people of AT&T Communications, we're thinking about your business in ways you never thought of. And by General Motors, extra time, extra effort, and attention to every detail. GM is committed to excellence.
Well, one of the great traditions you see right there in the middle of your screen, the Redskin Band, created by the late George Preston Marshall. Change of about 45 yards on this. The Redskins keeping the football after the turnover. And Griffin carrying the football. He now has carried 18 times for 71 yards. Marv and Hazlitt on the tackle. Kansas City leading the Giants in the fourth quarter. Redskins are winning here. St. Louis winning at St. Louis, still with a playoff possibility. The Rams have come back against Tampa Bay now. Second down. Theismann going to throw and does to Monk. And Monk gets away and gets the first down. Good effort over there. Eugene Marr, 54, made the play. You know, some people refer to that as second effort. I think it should be termed continuous effort.
Good point, Jay. Now, of course, Art Monk is going to be an all-pro this year. He's a fabulous wide receiver. But, please, number 30, Brian Carpenter, we've said it again and again. Give him some help. Why put him in this situation? You have a chance to get back in the ball game. As a defensive player, you can take Monk out of the football game if you double cover him, and they won't have him to throw to.
Here is Griffin again. Griffin up the middle, and he got it near the 19-yard line before Hazlitt again makes the tackle with some help from Marv. On that slow-mo just a moment ago, we saw Theismann, and we referred to it early in the first half about how he throws that ball from the back end, and you really could see it there.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the tight spin that he has on the football, which has a lot to do with the ball getting there in a hurry.
Mr. Theismann has had his hands full with some personal problems, but hung very, very tough. Quite a gentleman he is. Second down and 7. That's Monk in motion. Theismann using play action, fakes to Monk, now in trouble. Joe on the run, and he gets out of bounds. Out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Chris Keating, 52, ran him out.
That's what's so frustrating about playing against Joe Theismann and the one-back attack. Traditionally, if you're running a one-back attack, you would like to have a mobile quarterback, one that can scramble, move, and do a lot of things. Theismann can do that, and he makes those big people very, very winded when they have to chase him like that.
Some of our viewers might be wondering why we haven't seen more of Riggins today. The big guy from Kansas, of course, is over the 1,000-yard mark. And with the score 17-0 at the end of the first period, the Redskins feel, I'm sure, that they'll just keep him waiting in the wings for the most part. Kane and Wansley now are in the backfield, and that is the handoff to Wansley. And Wansley gets it out to the 28-yard line, and a first down. Wrapped up by Jim Haslett, number 55. Griffin will come back in. Wansley will go out. Monk comes back into the lineup as they were in their short yardage situation. And Otis Wansley, who played at Alcorn, a free agent, 5'10", 215.
And Jay, while we have the opportunity, we're back in the Washington area, the holiday season. I'd like to say hello to my mom, Nancy Rucker, who's probably watching this ball game.
Are you allowed to do that?
I just did.
I better say hello to my daddy, Jennings Randolph, who retires from the United States Senate on January 2nd. Had breakfast with him this morning. Really enjoyed seeing him. Out over the 30-yard line to the 32. And Eugene Marv, number 54, making the play.
And I want to thank you guys for getting me into the ball game today.
Oh, now. You can get in now, believe me. Well, we had a lot of great athletes in this great D.C. area over the years.
And we were talking about the names of the athletes along the boxes of the stadium here, and some of the really and truly great athletes who have played in Washington.
That's their Hall of Fame that they have here now. Sammy Baugh, Josh Gibson, the great ball player from the old Negro Leagues. Over the middle, complete to Art Monk. Monk is at the 45, up to midfield. Monk's set a single-season catch record, and he has played all out. Donald Wilson, number 21 on the tackle. Oh, you know, I look at these names. Eddie Yost, who played third base for the Senators. As we look again at this play from Monk.
This is the Art Monk seminar on pass catching style. Once again, Monk catches the ball short, evades a couple of tackles, gets additional yardage, and then puts the head down and makes the tackler pay a price. 11 receptions, 104 yards.
Monk, 104 on the day. 34-14 with 10:50 to go. Redskins in command. The pass is complete to Didier, the tight end, number 86, at the 45-yard line of Buffalo. Yeah, Sam Huff's name is up here. Eddie LeBaron, Sonny Jurgensen, Bones McKinney. Bones McKinney played with the old Washington basketball team when a man named Red Auerbach used to coach it.
That's right. And Red Auerbach still makes his home here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, there's Charlie Taylor, of course. Visited with him today. Bobby Mitchell,
Hall of Famer.
There's McKinney, Sonny Jurgensen, Frank Howard. Look at those names. Clark Griffith, Marty Gallagher, Larry Brown. Dean Beeman's name is up there. Is now the commissioner of the Professional Golf Tour. And right at the 50-yard line, Eugene Marv made the tackle on Otis Wansley.
Ken Johnson also in there. One thing you can say about the Buffalo Bills defense is that they have not given up. They are still hitting hard. They are popping. You can hear the contact way up here. It's just that their philosophy has not been very sound. I would question the latitude given Brian Carpenter out there on the left side and his coverage techniques all day long, because the Redskins have really taken advantage of him.
Kansas City now up 27-14 over the Giants in the fourth quarter.
Ooh.
Charlie Brown and Jeff Moore in there now for the Redskins. They've got third down and 9 at the 49. Theismann throws and incomplete. I had to wait to see if we were going to get a flag. It was close. Donald Wilson against Charlie Brown.
Fine play by Wilson, the young man right here from Washington, D.C. Told me last night, hey, I'm so excited about playing here I can't even eat. Watch him now here as he jumps in front of Charlie Brown to bat this ball down. And that's very difficult to do because the defender has a tendency to put his arm on the receiver. Sometimes that's called for pass interference.
A very close play. Wilson now set to receive the punt. That will come from Jeff Hayes. It's Hayes' first punt of the day. He's kicked off a bunch of times. Hayes out of North Carolina, averaging 38.9. And here it is, and it's a dandy. And they let it go into the end zone. Well, it is 34-14. Next Saturday, the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship.
McCallum, a perfectly conditioned fighting machine who throws any punch effortlessly with power and speed. His vicious attacks to an opponent's midsection have earned him the nickname the Body Snatcher. McCallum versus Minchillo, the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship.
AT&T is in mushrooms. How can a mushroom supplier from high up in the Rockies sell this perishable delicacy to the country's finest restaurants as fast as possible? Simple.
All to tell you, I picked some of the best.
With AT&T long-distance service,
Terrific.
our people can show any business the best way to do business. The people of AT&T Communications, we're thinking about your business in ways you never thought of.
Big, fast, nimble, durable, versatile. 5,000 new parts, German engineered. Introducing the new Volkswagen Golf, the new definition of hatchbacks. When you work on the new Golf as hard as we have, for as long as we have, everything just falls into place. Golf. It's not a car, it's a Volkswagen.
Well, you folks in the Washington area have many memories of that fella, Charlie Taylor. And Charlie Joyner hasn't caught a pass, we're told, up in Pittsburgh today, so his record is still very much intact for another week.
It'll be broken.
All-timer. Matt Kofler is the new quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Kofler going to go upstairs right off the bat, but he's sacked back at the 10-yard line. Charlie Mann, 71, and Darrell Grant, 77. That is the 5th sack of the afternoon for the Redskins. Well, Kofler was welcomed rather viciously here.
Let's watch Mann from the left side, 6'6" tall, number 71. Just gets around, and it's pretty easy to do at this point in the ball game because the defensive ends do not have to worry about anything but the pass.
Ferguson, 11 of 26 on the afternoon, has been replaced. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 1 for a touchdown as Vernon Dean scored. Kofler throwing and incomplete at the 20-yard line. The coverage by Darrell Green. And again, a close call there as Green was right there with the intended receiver, Mitchell Brookins.
If we could get another shot at this, I don't know whether we have it or not, but Jay, it shows you how confident Darrell Green is. I mean, he gambled on that play. He had no help. There was no one behind him. And had Mosley recovered that ball, he could have gone a long way.
Well, Green, of course, has great speed, a talented #1 draft pick out of Texas A&I. 3rd down and 19 from the 11. Shotgun for Matt Kofler. And activity at the line of scrimmage.
False start, offense number 72.
Ken Jones, the left tackle, moved.
Sometimes that happens, Jay, because of the difference in Kate's rhythm by the quarterbacks.
Well, the Giants are creeping back into this one. Here it is 34-14. The Rams now leading 34-26 over Tampa Bay. Cincinnati in command. Buffalo 45 yards in penalties. Kobler from the end zone. Over the middle, incomplete. Byron Franklin, 85, the intended receiver, and Cuban was on the run trying to get to it to intercept. So the Bills will have to punt, and John Kidd's going to be standing in his own end zone. Just get word from Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh that Joyner has 2 catches this afternoon. He's 3 away from breaking Charlie Taylor's record. It's been a record-breaking day for Art Monk.
Well, I would think that if they're going to lose for sure in Pittsburgh, then they may want to save Charlie Joyner's record-breaking performance for San Diego.
That's a good point. John Kidd punting from his own end zone, and that is Nelms. Nelms inside the 45, down to the 42-yard line, and the Redskins will have it there. Skins up 34-14. Martins Bayless, 43, made the tackle.
Flight operations, Hawaiian Islands.
155 to go, Bird. And the green stripe runner. Bring up 155 on number 2 elevator. Cloud top to 28,000 feet. Alpha Hotel, your wind is down the deck at 28,000. Launch aircraft. And clear. Stand clear.
Most jobs promise you the world. The Navy delivers. See your recruiter or call this number. Navy, it's not just a job, it's an adventure.
There are lots of times when overnight is just not fast enough.
Hello, Federal? I've got to get this to the coast today.
With Zapmail, we can get an exact copy of something clear across the country in just 2 hours from the minute you pick up the phone. Contracts, documents, drawings, whatever. Incredibly, in just 2 hours. Zapmail from Federal Express, when overnight is just not fast enough.
We've got a November to remember with the return of the Skins game. Last year, Gary Player won $150,000 on this hole alone.
There it is.
Nicholas, Palmer, Watson, and Player, the game's greatest foursome, plays the Skins game. America loves its sports, NBC style.
Well, many of you probably know how the skin game works. The low score on a hole wins the hole and all the money, and if they tie, they carry it over. It's a lot of fun. I used to play that game at Bethesda Country Club here once in a while.
See, I told you. There you go again.
Look out, down he goes at the 48-yard line. That's Darryl Talley coming across to get the sack. This is a fine-looking young linebacker. Had a fine game last week in the victory over Dallas. 1-point game. The Cardinals holding on out in St. Louis, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. And there's that Kansas City Giants score, 27-21, fourth quarter.
Incidentally, I use the term, there you go again. I may have to apologize to a fellow at 1600 Pennsylvania.
That's right.
For using his line.
Handoff going to Keith Griffin. Eugene Marv, number 54, made the play. Well, I did play a lot of golf in this town, and it was a great education for me. And I was honored to win the DC Amateur Championship at Kenwood Country Club in 1958. There's our first final of the afternoon. Cleveland 27-10 over Houston.
It's never too late.
That's right. Never too late.
Do you realize that, well, they won't after today, but they had a mathematical chance of tying for the division lead if Pittsburgh didn't win today.
Washington 4 out of 9 on third down situations. Theismann, lots of time. Going long. Charlie Brown lost the ball, and Buffalo has it. No, he was down, they're going to say. It's going to be the Skins ball. What a hit he took. At the 15-yard line. They say the fumble occurred after he was down. Charlie Brown gets credit for the reception. He took a shot from Donald Wilson.
That's as big a hit as I have seen all year long. You've got to have tremendous courage when you take a shot like this. Get up and come back and play again. Here's the throw from Theismann down the middle. Charlie Brown on the run. Downtown Charlie Brown. Brown. Boom! Gets the shot from Donald Wilson. My goodness.
I thought I saw one like that last night in the SMU Arkansas game, but that's even tougher. Whoa.
He should get a standing ovation if he gets up from this one.
Charlie Brown, third year, number 8 draft choice in '81. Set the single season record here last year. He's up.
Listen to the crowd.
He just came back off injured reserve, missed the last 8 games, some kind of quick.
And you know, Jay, that's what the Washington Redskins have been missing, because they have Art Monk, who is just fabulous inside and outside and with the big strength. But they need that, what I call that congestion buster, that guy that goes down through the defense with the speed to threaten the second level.
Wide to the right. Calvin Muhammad, 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Griffin in at the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Jim Haslett, 55 on the tackle. The Skins leading 34-14, trying to get more.
There it is, that counter tray move, they call it, because the offside guard comes to the onside and blocks for Griffin. And there it is. Once again, if that were John Riggins, he would take that thing right through the middle, busting off the tackles.
I mentioned the Redskins are trying to get more. Total points, as you know, is the 4th tiebreaker, so
good point.
It's not unusual that they would try to tack them on here.
That's right. The Buffalo Bills know what's happening here, too.
Griffin to the 5, down to the 3-yard line. The little guy ferreting his way through, making a fine play before Haslett, 55, got the tackle.
Jay, I'm convinced that they can't see the little guy. There's no way. Watch it now. 5 feet, 8 inches tall, behind huge offensive linemen. They don't see him. They don't know where he is. Look how he weaves in and out. Good run, Keith Griffin.
1st and goal to go. As Griffin comes out, you've got Wansley and Moore in there. This is their goal line offensive duo. Hand off up the middle. Wansley, touchdown. The Redskins get on the board again. Mark Mosley will attempt the extra point. Originally drafted in 1970 by the Philadelphia Eagles. It is up and it is good. 5:03 remaining to be played. Here at RFK, the Redskins lead it 41-14.
I hate to wait.
He hates to wait.
Well, you have to wait. So sorry.
Avis knows how frustrating it is to wait for your rental car. That's why we invented the Wizard number, so you can go right from your plane to the Avis bus.
I hate to wait.
We'll get you on your way and into your car fast. We know you hate to wait, so from reservation to return,
I hate to wait.
He hates to wait.
We're trying harder, faster.
I hate to wait.
When an alkaline battery goes dead, you throw it away and buy a new one. This is a GE rechargeable. When it goes dead, you recharge it. It costs more than batteries you throw away, but lasts up to 4 years. Used 10 hours a week, this toy would use over 300 long-life batteries to just 2 GE rechargeables. So if you're still throwing away batteries, you're throwing away a lot of money.
Jay Randolph and Reggie Rucker with you. You're my favorite shoe salesman here. Explain what's going on. Come on here.
Well, this is the type of cleat that many of the players are wearing for Buffalo, and it's not that good footing on this type of field. Now, this is the type of cleat that many of the Redskins are wearing. It's that multi-rippled and soled shoe that gives you better traction.
They'll wear this today here, and they'll also wear that, of course, on the artificial surfaces on occasion. The kickoff plays, getting it downfield, picked up, and on the move with it is Wilson. Wilson getting it back to about the 25-yard line where he was run out of bounds. Don't forget, next Sunday we've got an NFL doubleheader for you. Hope you'll check your local listings for the games in your area. It all will kick off at 12:30 Eastern Time with Bob Costas and the crew. There are the games: Denver and Kansas City, that Pittsburgh-Houston game, Indianapolis and Buffalo, and Cincinnati goes against Cleveland. And then the Raiders and the Dolphins will do battle down in the Orange Bowl. That's one you certainly want to look forward to. NFL action continuing next weekend here on NBC.
I'll take the Raiders in that one.
Oh-ho! The pass intended for number 87, Tony Hunter. They haven't been able to get the ball to the big, talented tight end today. Greg Williams, 47, had the coverage. Pittsburgh puts 52 on the board. It's the most points in the NFL this year, I believe, 52. And the Rams by one over Tampa Bay. They're in the fourth period down in Tampa. Here it is, 41-14.
Keep your eye on Mitchell Brookins down here at the bottom of your screen. He's the great speed.
Prevent defense for the Redskins. Copeland throws complete. Byron Franklin made the catch at about the 29-yard line. Larry Cuban, the linebacker, number 50, made the tackle. Look at this. The Giants have come from nowhere to take the lead in that one, and that's got to take a little starch out of the folks here in Washington, but
Bill's going without a huddle now.
And it is complete out to the 35-yard line to Riddick, and Riddick cuts it up and is knocked out of bounds by Mark Murphy, number 29. The Skins have now got Murphy in the secondary, 29. Greg Williams, 47. The Cardinals still holding on by a point. Ricky Smith, 26, is out there. Anthony Washington, 24. Second final of the afternoon as Cincinnati wins it big, 35-14 over Atlanta. At the 42-yard line, the Bills have it first and 10. 4 minutes and 13 seconds left to play. And a lot of the faithful have headed home already.
With good reason.
41-14, the Redskins in command. Pass is complete to Riddick. And the Skins will be happy to give them those short ones all afternoon, at least for the next 4 minutes.
This has probably been the most inflexible game plan that I have seen in some time, Jay, because right now you need some bigger plays, and they are still continuing with that philosophy that they used in the beginning of the football game.
Second down and 4. Dropped by Rob Riddick. Penalty marker goes down. Oh, my goodness.
That's an ejection shot right there.
Yeah, another penalty marker goes down. Number 77, Darrell Grant, really got into it.
He should be ejected from the contest.
I think he has been. Grant, out of the Southwest Conference, played for the Rice Owls, and boy, he lost his temper out there and just started swinging.
Offense, 73 holding. Disqualification on Washington, number 77. Disqualification. He's out of the game.
Well, I don't know why they're booing, because that type of behavior by Darrell Grant is uncalled for on the football field. Let the officials take care of the officiating end of it. They'll make the right call. Don't take matters into your own hands.
That's Torgy Torgerson there chatting with him. 10 penalties, 124 yards last week, most ever under Joe Gibbs. He was not pleased with that. Much less was he pleased with the loss at Philadelphia.
I'm sure he won't be pleased with this type of action either, because the very good coaches, the Shulers and the Landrys, they'll find a way in a game that's meaningful to take advantage of something like that.
Now, Grant has been ejected.
They're offset, and it's second down.
Joyner has just tied Charlie Taylor's record. As we pause briefly for station identification, this is the NBC Television Network.
WRC-TV, Channel 4. Washington, D.C.
With Reggie Rucker, Jay Randolph here in Washington. 2nd down and 2 for Buffalo. Kofler down back at the 37-yard line. Harry Brooks playing for Dave Butts, who's in hospital with the flu. That is the 6th sack of the afternoon for Washington. Third down now and 14. 3.5 to play in the game. Intending it down the far sideline for number 89, Julius Dawkins. Anthony Washington had the coverage. Get a good look there at Kofler, who was taken over for Ferguson. Matt played at San Diego State. We get word again, we'll update it for you, that Charlie Joyner has apparently tied the record of Charlie Taylor. That word just coming to us from Pittsburgh.
Will the real Charlie Taylor come forward? There he is.
Yes, sir. We'll be back with more from RFK right after these messages.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's make the love.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's make the love.
Nobody sweats the details like GM.
A 25-yard pass from Ed Luther to Charlie Joyner has tied the NFL record set by that man Charlie Taylor. So our congratulations to Charlie Joyner, and of course always our congratulations to that fella right there. A wonderful fella.
That's 649 career receptions.
That's a bunch.
That is. And Charlie did it when they didn't throw the football like they do today.
That's true.
Charlie Taylor, that is.
4th down, 14 from the shotgun. Matt Kofler. 7th sack of the afternoon. It was Perry Brooks again who just got him on the shoe tops. You know, we talk about this record of Charlie Taylor's. You had the opportunity to chat with Charlie earlier today, and I think we're going to have the opportunity right now to get your views with him.
Well, a guy like Joyner, and who's paid his dues and worked as hard as he has, I'm pretty proud of him. I tell you what, if someone had to take it, I'm glad it's Charlie Joyner.
Well, a very nice statement from that gentleman. A couple of very talented people.
Very classy gentleman at that.
Here's Griffin. And the little guy bumped out of bounds by Charles Romes. Joyner, those 5 catches for 53 yards.
He just broke it.
Yep.
Charlie Joyner has just broken Charlie Taylor's record in Pittsburgh. Well, congratulations to Charlie Joyner. I know I came into the league with Charlie Joyner in 1969, and of course I left in '82, and he's still playing, and what a remarkable athlete Charlie Joyner is.
Charles Romes is shaken up for the Buffalo Bills. We have 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining to be played. The gentleman's off to the left there. Great veteran trader Eddie Abramowski of the Buffalo Bills. Bud Tice, who assists him. And they're taking a look there at Romes, who played at North Carolina Central. You know, we talk about the records, and the fact that they didn't throw very much back not too many years ago. I can remember watching Sammy Baugh, who came out of TCU, make the transition from the single wing to the T here in Washington, D.C.
And you said something very profound to me earlier about Sammy Baugh and his talents, and what was it?
Oh, well, he played defensive back also, and he still holds some of the punting records in the National Football League. What a great talent he was. They want baseball back in Washington, D.C. The question is, does baseball want them? And we will wait and see.
I second the motion. I think baseball belongs in the nation's capital.
Great. The old Washington Senators. I mentioned Eddie Yost's name is up here. Of course, Eddie was a great third baseman here for so many years.
A walking man.
Yep.
Didn't think I knew that, did you?
No. Joe Cronin's name across the way. Look at Theismann. He's had himself a day. 2nd down and 7. Jeff Moore in the lineup. Gets down to the 26-yard line for the Redskins. Wilson was there, number 21, to make the play. Moore played at Jackson State. He hasn't had a chance to run the football, but he's getting the opportunity today. You see the clock running with 2:40 left, and the Rams beat Tampa Bay by 1.
To stay in the playoff picture.
Again, it is Moore, and he is thrown back upfield. Johnson 91, Keating 52, making the play.
Lawrence Johnson, number 48, also in on the play.
The Giants clinging to a 1-point advantage late in the 4th quarter at the Meadowlands. We're going to get the 2-minute warning here in just a minute. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play in that game. And here, 2 minutes remaining as the 2-minute warning is given. Right now, here comes another one of those fantastic finishes.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes, 1972. Previously injured John Brody cranks up on the sideline. San Francisco needs a 4th quarter miracle. They're losing 17-6 to Minnesota. Brody fires one 25 yards to Gene Washington, TD number 1. Here comes Brody again, running right, pointing left. Bingo! TD number 2 to wide open Dick Witcher. The 49ers win it, and John Brody gets a ride to the dressing room.
Jeffrey, helping Mother today was a good idea.
I certainly agree.
Please put these used cans in the big barrel. The big barrel, Jeffrey, the one for recycling.
Why?
Because aluminum cans are valuable. They can be recycled and made into brand new cans.
Why?
Because we've got to learn to use good things more than once.
I certainly agree.
Recycle. Buy beverages in aluminum cans and recycle.
The Redskins about to win their 8th game against 5 defeats. Washington, 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Philadelphia goes ahead of St. Louis, getting a late field goal. That would be 4 losses in a row for the Cardinals after they had won 4 in a row.
Jay, you and I have talked about this before in games that we've done, and I've coined this phrase, no conceivable ability to win. And I'm happy to see that the Bills aren't calling any timeouts, not prolonging this game, not risking further injury by allowing the clock to run out.
Clock down now to 1 minute and 10. Well, you've seen one Skins game this afternoon. The other one's coming up. The golf action from out in Desert Highlands. As we get the Giant final, the Giants hang in there. 28-27, the final at the Meadowlands.
Well, they're happy in Gotham tonight.
I want to thank Jay Shrinsky and Jimmy Schaus, the son of the former great West Virginia basketball coach and Laker coach Freddie Schaus, and now the athletic director of West Virginia. Jimmy working with us, our spotters today, and Joe Bain on our stats. All the crew here in Washington, thanks for your help today. 20 seconds to go, and this may just about do it. Well, it was 17-0 Redskins after the first quarter. They led it 27-7 at half and go on to win it. Kay Stevenson congratulating Joe Gibbs. The Bills are now 1-12. The Redskins are 8-5. The final score here at RFK this afternoon, 41-14, Washington. Key play in the game, Vernon Dean's interception in the third period for a touchdown. Back with more in a moment.
To everyone who's got what it takes to make his own brakes, this Bud's for you.
Testing. This is Paul Martinez reporting from the International Airport. Thanks, Paul. That's great. I'll take it from here. How do I look? Just fine. Let's fire it up. Come on.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. You know it is and only what you say is what you do.
Are we on? This is Paul Martinez reporting. Well, thank goodness the pilot knew what he was doing.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
From the International Airport, this is Paul Martinez reporting.
Thank you, Paul, and welcome to the news team.
To Paul Martinez, my son. Yeah, thanks, Bob.
There's the way the NFC East looks right now as we update it for you. The Cardinals are losing at St. Louis. 41-14, the Redskins. For Reggie Rucker, Jay Randolph bidding you good afternoon. Stay tuned for the Skins game.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. United is the first and only airline to serve all 50 states. Fly the friendly skies.
NBC presents a world movie premiere. His woman betrayed him. His friends destroyed him. Now he stands alone against the odds. The Vegas Strip War tonight.
I'm Scott Clark. Stay with Channel 4 News for a complete wrap-up of today's Redskins-Bills game.
Eisen throws for 311 yards and 2 touchdowns when Charlie Brown comes back off the disabled list, when the defense is an interception return for a touchdown and 5 sacks. Right, a blowout, a much-needed blowout. The Buffalo Bills are the sacrificial lambs. Brown's presence was a big lift when Theismann found him here in the second quarter. The Redskins were out to 24-0 lead and led 24-7 at the half. But then Buffalo scored again, had the momentum when Vernon Dean made the key play. He intercepts Ferguson and runs it in for the score. From there, it was a laugh. 41-14 the final. The complete Redskins wrap up right after us here on Redskins Sunday with Frank Herzog. And that keeps the Redskins in a tie for first in the East with the Cowboys and Giants. The Giants dug themselves a hole when Stephon Page made the great grab in the end zone for Kansas City. Giants down 27-14 in the fourth period when Phil Simms first hit Bobby Johnson with the lob, 27-21. Then 2:22 to go. Simms finds Zeke Moat for the score, and the Giants win 28-27 to hang right in there. The best game of the day was for first place in the AFC West. Denver 11-1 against Seattle 10-2. It was nip and tuck all day. The Seahawks' Steve Largent had a big day, 191 yards in receptions. At this point, Seattle led 24-17. Elway had another good day for the Broncos. Here, he hits Gene Lang with a 10-yarder, and Seattle leads 27-24. Now, time running out. Rich Carlos has a 26-yard chippy for the Bronco tie, and he hits the goalpost. No good. Seahawks win 27-24, and the two clubs have tied for first. The 49ers wrapped up the NFC West by ripping New Orleans 35-3. Here, Montana to Earl Cooper. The 49ers now 12-1 and have the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And for the first time since 1963, the Chicago Bears are the champs of the NFC Central. The tough Bear defense rolled right over Minnesota 34-3. Todd Bell ran this interception in for the score. The Bears are in the playoffs. Career milestone was reached today by a sure future Hall of Famer, Charlie Joyner. when old Charlie caught the pass coming up. It was the 650th of his career. Charlie Joyner coming up right now. Old Charlie, 650th of his career. One more than former Redskin Charlie Taylor and a new NFL record. Is that Charlie? There's Charlie. I knew he'd come up. It didn't help the Chargers, though. They were wiped out by the Steelers, 52-24. Here's another future Hall of Famer, I hope. The Rams' Eric Dickerson. All right, Dickerson today, 191 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. He's now only about 360 yards from O.J. Simpson's season rushing record, as the Rams had to come from behind to beat the Tampa Bay Bucks 34-33. The Cards stay a game back of the Skins, Giants, and Cowboys with a last-second field goal by O'Donohue. The Eagles lose Ron Jaworski for the year with a broken leg. Elsewhere, the Raiders over Indianapolis, Cincinnati big over Atlanta, and Cleveland beat Houston 27-10. And finally, the Maryland Terps basketball team has a blowout.
Mosley comes in, converts a 38-yard kick into 3 points. It's quickly 10-0. On the first play from scrimmage after that field goal, Joe Ferguson's pass is picked off by Curtis Jordan. But watch, Jordan on his return bumps into Mel Kaufman. Right here. Kaufman sprained his neck, had to leave the game, but Jordan's 16-yard return sets up the offense. John Riggins caps a short drive, rolls over from the 3. He left the game with a stiff back, and the Skins lead 17-0. The last play of the first quarter, one of the most spectacular you'll ever see. Calvin Muhammad on the run with Buffalo's Charles Romes. Romes tries to intercept, but Calvin, watch him, he'll wrestle the ball away, protect it from the ground, and come up with a tremendous catch at the Bills' 29. 3 plays later, Theismann throws to Charlie Brown. The defender takes himself out of the play, going for the interception. CB scores easy, 24-0. It was 27-14 in the third quarter. The Skins knocking on the door again when Theismann's pass is intercepted by Darryl Talley at the 2. Actually, it works to Washington's benefit because 3 plays later, Ferguson's pass is picked off by Vernon Dean. Vernon will stroll into the end zone for the touchdown, 34-14. The Redskins' next drive produced a strange play. Keith Griffin, who gained 92 yards subbing for Riggins, fumbles the ball. Buffalo's Don Wilson gets it. He's off to the races, but watch Calvin Muhammad. He runs him down, forces the fumble, then Calvin goes on to recover, saving the touchdown. The Skins closed out their scoring on the next possession. Otis Wansley plows in 41-14. And this game was exactly what the doctor ordered, a major booster shot for Redskins morale. Here's Sonny's thoughts on the route.
Lee, the Redskins finally got a mismatch that they so badly needed. If it had been a fight, I think they would have stopped it. But it was a game the Redskins needed because it was a real confidence builder.
I tell you, it looks like we're back to Redskin football. That's what's really exciting me. You know, we did this last year all the time. You know, it was just our bread and butter. And this year we had to struggle to do that. I think we played with a lot of enthusiasm today and made big plays. You know, when we have a chance to make plays, you got to make them. And in the past, we had chances to make big plays, and we just weren't making them. So I think that's a big change for us right now.
It's a lot more confidence factor. No, we got the guys back that we need back. That basically, I think, just the game overall gives us a little bit more confidence going into next week's game. For a while there, it was starting to wonder, like, you know, we were sitting back saying, hey, can we score a couple touchdowns or whatever? But, you know, the feeling's back and things are moving smooth.
You can see why the Redskins have been so excited about the return of all-pro receiver Charlie Brown. Today, just his presence in the game made a big difference in the passing game.
There are 3 great wide receivers. They all complement one another. Charlie has, you know, they all have the same speed, except Calvin's got a little bit of an edge. Calvin worked on it a little bit longer than everybody else. But they all have great leaping ability. They're all tall, and they all have the ability to run with the football after they catch it. And they're just all wonderful receivers. I tell you, it's, you know, it's a quarterback's dream. Makes a guy want to play 6-7 more years.
Yeah, it got me going pretty early. You know, I didn't expect to catch the first pass when I went in there. I just thought I got a feel for the football and a feel for the game all over again.
The Redskins defense has been carrying this football team for the past few weeks. Today, they really didn't have a challenge by the Bills' offense because they were inept from the very beginning.
Yeah, it was close right up until kickoff, you know, and we didn't know if we could handle it after that. But I think we dominated. We dogged them a lot early, and things just went our way. You know, they're not exactly a great football team.
I think the defense is steadily getting better and better, and we did. We came out, we played well. We wanted to stop the running game at the beginning of the game. We thought they would do what they did to Dallas a week before and come out and just run the ball successfully. They didn't have a lot of success, and I think that's what turned the game around.
With the offense starting to gel now, the Skins are going into this stretch drive healthy and playing consistent football the way they want to be. But let's not forget, you know, who they played today. They played a 1-11 football team, a team they should beat. Let's wait and see how they play against the Minnesota Vikings after a short work week. Back to you, Lee.
Good point. Thanks, Sonny. By the way, Art Monk had his best day as a pro, 11 catches, 104 yards. He leads the league with 82 receptions. That's a Redskins record for a single season. And Joe Theismann moved ahead of Sonny Jurgensen as the Skins' all-time passing leader, 22,706 yards. It was a wild day for rallies around the league. Those highlights when Eyewitness News continues.